let's get this URL and we can put it in the Discord. Very nice. All right, we are good. I think we're live, right? Yeah, we're live. All right, let me get YouTube chat pulled up. It's kind of annoying that I have to do that separately. There is an option to see like all the chats in one through Streamlabs, which is what I stream through. But a lot of times, like, it'll just like stop working. Like, it'll just stop showing me the YouTube chat or something. So I like to have it popped out in a separate little panel, so that way I know it's like up to date. Like, I can see it does separate my chat into Twitch and YouTube. And you know, one day once we get some Kick viewership, we'll get some. Yo, Vicar in here early, old school Vicar back again. How are you doing today? Greetings, Grandmaster. What's up, Fluffs? How are y'all doing? Happy Friday, guys. Happy almost Valentine's Day. Sorry, I'm gonna be busy, or else I would love to, spend Valentine's Day with you guys. But no, today's gonna be like a super chill one, guys. I'm just in like a vibey mood. We're gonna heal a bit, but I really want to tweak my UI because there's a few things that I kind of want to mess with. I kind of want you guys to feel free to ask me questions and stuff, so that way I can be yapping and super distracted from the game. That's how I like it. But I am here to vibe today, to be honest, guys. Okay, so number one, the first thing that I want to do is tweak the edit mode, or tweak the cooldown tracker a little bit. So I want to... Part of me kind of wants to ditch the cooldown tracker. I'm not going to lie. Part of me wants to just go action bars. Is that trolling? Is that how I want to actually do this, though? What would be different? What would be better? Well, so one, it wouldn't be macros, or at least I'd have to change the icons to my macros, so that would be one thing. Yeah, and plus I use a lot of macros, so it wouldn't... I guess action bars wouldn't really be the most feasible thing, because then I'd have to put renewing mist on my bars twice, basically. Okay, oh, did I post in the Discord? I did. What the heck? Is that my kick? The default kick profile picture is so weird. I need to go on and change that. But I definitely want to make this bigger. I might even want to separate it into 2 rows. Yeah, I might want to separate it into 2 rows. So we might do columns. Well, columns. Crank this bad boy down like this. We'll try it. We will try it. I need to make them bigger though. That's kind of like the main gripe I had with this. Now the problem is I think I'm not tracking enough buffs to make this symmetrical. And see, this is the problem with making it columns, is now it kind of looks stacked. Like, it kind of looks ugly. Yo, what's up, Asa? Hey Ninja. Ryflight says, "Hey Ninja, I haven't been on for 2 seasons. I played Mistweaver Fist Weaving, and I've come back and only seen Doom Discourse. Where'd my kick go? Is the Doom Discourse exaggerated? Yes, and especially because Rye, since you're just now coming back, there was a time where, like, so they are taking our kick away. They're taking a bunch of things away from everyone. So it's kind of across the board. Ours as a healer is just they're taking most healers' kicks away. But we are very deep into the beta. So we've been testing on the beta since, like, November. And we're in February now. Up until about this month, basically, Mistweaver has been in like a pretty question mark state, right? Hasn't been doing the most healing, hasn't, doesn't really have anything going for it. Up until recently, they did buff it. So our healing is at least very reliable now. So a lot of the Doom is probably a little outdated. I don't think there's much to Doom about. Like, as a whole, Midnight healing is getting a little weirder. Like, we're not going to be able to kick casts and stuff, at least everyone but Resto Shamans. But, you still have your standard, like, control. You can still para it, you can rop it, you can stun it with leg sweep. So, like, there's a good bit that's staying to allow us to control mobs and stuff. And as a monk, we do have some some of the better AoE control for mobs, so that's also notable. It's not like I definitely think sure you're gonna find people that doom and gloom and stuff, but I don't think it's as bad as most will make it sound. Especially your odds are you've probably read some like outdated dooming, and just keep that in mind as well. But I personally, monks honestly ever since they got buffed on the beta, personally I think monk is kind of killing it compared to what they were before. But that's just me. That's just me. Everyone's gonna have their different opinions. I choose to have an open mind, and through that, I am very satisfied with where Monk is at right now, and I feel like I rarely get to say that. However, I feel like every time I do say that on like PTR or beta or some kind of testing environment, they always get nerfed, and I'm like, why did I say something? But it's not, it's not like anything that I say will kind of come back as a nerf. Okay, I want leg sweep next to my stops. So we have para, leg sweep, rop, all kind of next to each other. I don't really want transcendence on here. And what else? Tiger's Lust, my Dispel. I kind of wish Tiger's Lust in my Dispel I could just make glow. Like, I kind of miss that about weak auras. Okay, what am I missing? I have Thunder Folksy and Manatee. I feel like Manatee kind of deserves a spot up here a little bit. Oh, I need Shayloons. Shayloons definitely should be on the buff bar now. Shayloon's Gift, where do we put you? Probably next to Life Cocoon, but does it go more on the cooldown side? Well, I guess Conduit's more of a cooldown. I kind of like having Life Cocoon and Conduit next to each other because they feed into each other. I like that. I think Shayloons is very deserving of a central spot, personally. Have I tried Harmony? I have. I like it. I think there's nothing wrong with Harmony. It's just not the Harmony I remember. You know what I mean? Good news, everyone. I'm finally used to fist weaving since Mop Beta. Hey, welcome in, Mapco. The specking class is amazing. Thank you, Elvinage7 for the videos. Hey, of course. Also, Fluffs. I will read the wall. I see the wall. Let me find a group first. Ooh. See if we can get in there. We need a Zenus. Here's another one. We don't need a pit. We need to filter out healer ones. Okay. Zenus, they need a lust though. Okay, we'll queue up to those and we'll wait. Ooh. Oh, it was delisted. I was about to say, what the heck? Okay. Have you, by any chance, tested the lightning build after the Jadefire Teachings buff? I have. I feel like it's valid to play. The thing is, it's like I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think anyone's saying it's bad. I just think, so I think the lightning build was here, the normal build was here because that's how the devs want it. They want it to do more healing. The normal build to do more healing, and when you buff both of them, they kind of go like that. You know what I mean? So yes, I think it's still a good build. I feel like you probably could get title using that build. You probably would just have an easier time playing the other build. You know what I mean? I feel like it's valid to play. And that's the thing is I always say it just depends on your definition of valid and viable. I feel people hating on it compared to the bugged version, and let's be real, then we can just compare to Druids or Warriors or anything. But for what it is, a low maintenance heal additionally to your HOTS, it feels valid. Obviously, you still have enveloping. I don't think anyone's saying it's bad. I really don't. It's because either build, you can spread Enveloping Mist and then rely on Ancient Teachings. You can do that with both builds, technically. But with one build, they're keeping your damage higher than that. You know what I mean? It feels valid. Obviously, you still have Enveloping Shayloons, Soothing Shayloons, and damage phases. So, want to see if you got any input. Seeing you did a short some time ago. I think, if you look at just remove the lightning build and just look at the punch kicky build, look at it. Nowhere. I like walls. I was just messing with you, but just look at the punch kicky build. Right. Think of it now that it's buffed, and think of it before it was buffed. The problem with it before it was buffed is your maintenance throughput, that your passive damage healing wasn't really doing as much as you would want it to. So then your you would have to lean into your Shaylun's gift healing a lot more in times where you need to do big healing. Um, and the problem with that is that it became very mana intensive, and you just didn't have enough resources to heal through some prolonged fights. Like you didn't have enough, you couldn't generate enough Shaylun stacks and stay good on mana to do consistent Shaylun spot healing, right? Um, Now the current lightning build is kind of where the former punch kicky build is at, where like you can't really rely on lightning in a lot of moments where you would want to. So you have to fall into your Shayluns, and then you're like using your Shaylun stacks and your mana, and then once that big mechanic finally comes up, you're at 0 stacks of Shaylun, 0 stacks of Mana Tea. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like it's just one of those things. Ken says, saw your videos on ranking healers. What would Prez Evoker need to compete with better healers in general? Um, so I think a lot of what they're doing good, like a lot of their strengths, probably just need to be buffed. I think they don't really have enough power in one direction to invest fully in that direction. Like you can go a build that relies really heavily on reversions, and it's a fine build. You can go really heavily into Verdant Embrace healing, and that's a fine build with echoes and stuff. Like both builds are fine, but you can't really combine them to make a full, well-rounded build. You know what I mean? So like, if they would buff like either of their strengths, so like reversion healing or like echo healing or Verdant Embrace healing, I feel like that could push the build, like that could be the glue that brings all three of those strengths into together to make a cohesive build, you know. But right now it feels like they're having to like fully play into one, and they can't really play in all three, or they can't really play into the two, the reversion and Verdant Embrace. You're either trying to like ramp up and cash in on verdants, or ramp up and cash in on reversions. And I feel like even that, like saying those words, cash your big moment in a Mythic Plus environment is pressing reversion. I feel like that's not like a Mythic Plus thing, and that's just one of the builds that people are playing around with. But I definitely think, I guess we can queue up for this too. I think they need more of an oomph. They need that like big impact spell for that scales well into Mythic Plus, because like reversion scales really well when you ramp out like a bunch of echoes with all your temporal anomalies and stuff, and then you press reversion on a raid. That's great. You have 20 reversions out, like you're swimming in hots, right? But in Mythic Plus, it's not as powerful. Like granted, you could do Dream Breath, but I don't know. I feel like they're just really feeling that lack of Spirit Bloom. And obviously they're not going to bring back Spirit Bloom. So I feel like either, you know, cranking up one of those few spells that I've listed, I feel like could be fine. Because they have utility. Like, they have utility in spades compared to some of the other healers. I also think they themselves are a little squishier. But, you know, when you look at the overall meta, I think Brewmasters are looking really good. Yeah, can you see my talents? Sure. Brewmaster tanks are looking really good, so that kind of already makes it hard to make a comp around Mistweaver. And Resto Druid's looking really good too, which Resto Druid with Brewmaster looks fantastic. Like, that's a great combo, right? But people often don't think about how good Prez Evoker is with Brewmaster. So there's a world where if they nerfed Resto Druid and buffed Prez Evoker, that could open the door to a Prez Brewmaster comp, you know? I mean, granted, you could combine almost any healer with a Brewmaster and be fine. You probably wouldn't combine a Mistweaver if they did that. If they nerfed Resto Druid, buffed Evoker, I still don't think you'd just slot in a Mistweaver where the Druid used to be. I feel like you'd find another. You'd probably put like Shaman with it or something, or like Paladin. But yeah, I think there's a couple different things. But I just think, you know, when you look at Prez Evoker and you look at Holy Priest, those two healers scale really well in 20-man healing. Like, they do. And it's just because of how their healing mechanics heal. Like, cleaving a whole raid with a Dream Breath is is beautiful. But cleaving a party, like you can only do so much healing with that. You know what I mean? Whereas like Spirit Bloom could like top up all 5 members in an instant. So it's just kind of what Mythic Plus demands out of us, a healer spec, and how you really start to find how little that spec can meet those demands in a 5 man environment. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but there's a lot of moving pieces, right? There's also, you have to consider composition. Like, also, I'm pretty sure, isn't augmentation looking good on beta? I feel like I see a lot of augmentation, but those could be old logs. I have no idea. I haven't really paid attention to augmentation, but they also compete. So if that's a thing, then yeah. Oh, I said I was going to show my talents. Did I? I feel like I did, right? Maybe. Hey, LB, how do you feel about R Shaman for Midnight? I think they're fine. I don't think they like do anything stand out. I still think people are still trying to figure out the new build. Um, I don't. I don't know. They haven't really. As someone who loves, I guess we're just gonna get into a key to be playing the game, honestly. But as someone who like, I love Shaman. I love Resto Shaman. I want to have an alt Resto Shaman at all times, and I'll be a happy camper, right? I just haven't had like that, um, that moment where I'm like, yeah, this is fun and worth playing, and like so good that I want to play it. It's just like a middle of the pack. It's not gonna make me change my main or consider changing my main. It's not that like, it's not really standing out right now. But also, Board Code, how are you doing today? Very nice to see you. Oh, Ravikavis. Man, that blue is really hard for me to see. How's it going? It's going very well, very well. I really dislike how Prez is a hot healer now. Yeah, it's really weird. Even having like Verdant Embrace have like a hot aspect is weird. What is going on? What is going on here? What's up, Big G? What's up, Gumshoe? How are you doing today? Whew. I wish they would massively lower the cooldown on Prez abilities. Okay, we got a Wind Runner. Wind Runner is a tricky one. I also haven't done one in a hot minute, not gonna lie. So if they've changed any of the bosses, it's gonna be a surprise. Kind of like the other day when I was doing that Magister's Terrace, and I was like, wait, when did they change this boss? It was totally new to me. But yeah, Prez being a hot healer, like, I think they're trying to balance it, because think about it, like, Prez has been broken. We can say it now. Now that we're on the other side of it, Prez has been broken in Raid. Like, the way that they were able, like, I would do this crazy Yulon ramp, and I'd be like, dude, I'm doing so much healing. And it would feel good. But then it would be time for our Prez Evoker to ramp. And I kid you not, it's like all the health bars would shoot from 40 to full in a second. Like, he would snap, and everyone's at full health. Like, that's how good Prez has been with Flame Shaper. So they're really trying to like make a world where Engulf doesn't exist, because that's really hard to balance in 20-man without having to just like gut it. Because they tried that. They gutted it, and people were like, I'd rather it be broken than non-existent, right? So they're trying to make a world where Engulf doesn't just pop off in Raid. So they're trying to emphasize the hots of Prez, and that just doesn't translate well into Mythic Plus unless you can stack a bunch of hots and scale off of that like a Resto Druid can, Like if a Prez Evoker had some kind of buff that was like, the more hots you have on someone, the more they each do or something, then sure, you'd Temporal Anomaly, Dream Breath all day long, spread Reversion, like, you'd probably live in that world and just, like, I guess Living Flame, Verdant Embrace to heal and stuff, but, like, you can't. Like, you can't fully rely on your hots in Mythic Plus like a Resto Druid can, There could be a talent where, like, imagine a talent where it's some kind of choice node, the one that, like, buffs your Dream Breath hot. Instead of taking that, you could take a talent where it's, like, you do all your Dream Breath healing in an instant, but then you're just playing Spirit Bloom. Like, worse Spirit Bloom, right? Yo, a 6-month resub is insane. Tuzalon, half a year. How are you doing, man? Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate the support. You guys keep the channel going, and I appreciate you all so much. From what people had told me, Prez is supposed to be the skilled healer, and if you know what you're doing, it would show in the charts. I 100% agree in Raid. We have this one healer in our Raid group who is... we have one healer that's like a former Bleeding Edge, or one player that's a former Bleeding Edge player So it's hard to call this healer the best player in my guild, but dude, as a healer, it's so hard not to. This guy is unbelievably good at healing. Like, he's insane. He's normally a priest player, and he's filthy on either priest spec, but mostly disc priest. He'll like I'm telling you, like, he'll get like 100 parses on every boss easily, with a, you know, four man healing when most people 2-man heal to get that 100 parse. Like, he's crazy. Okay, he swapped to Prez Evoker, and at first I was like, finally he swapped off priest. Like, dude, that dude was too good at priest. Because like for the first maybe one raid night, he was like parsing like 60, so I was up there getting like my like 70s became 80s, right? So I was like, oh yeah, you know, keep at this. I'm gonna keep going up. It took him less than a week to find his footing because he's that good. And then the next raid night, he shows up, gets like a 92. I'm like, on Prez Evoker. So like, and then from now he's like one of the top Prez Evoker. It's unfair. Okay, so once you get good with Prez Gats, it's unreal, because like it's a cool design spec. Like, Holy Priest is a spec where you click and heal the person and they get healed, right? It's nothing else to it. It's simple. Prez Evoker's like, I'm going to put this buff on you and keep it there without casting any other heals, and then the next time I heal, it's gonna also like replicate onto you too. Like, there's more thought to it. Like, it's a 3-step healer, whereas like some healers are 1-step, some are 2-step, and 2-step's hard. But Prez is like a 3-step. You have to think your echoes, your temporal anomalies, and your stasis ahead. You know, it's pretty crazy. Okay, where are we going? Do y'all remember it was a win run, right? I think so. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I 100% agree. And then a Mythic Plus, I mean, it still has all the same mechanics. It's just, I don't think it's like as ridiculous. Funny thing, late last season, I was like, I'm gonna start playing my Prez Evoker as an alt. Let me run it through a raid. So I'm like, okay, let me import the build. All right, let me find like a written guide. Maybe I can read a little bit on it before I do this raid, because I already know most of it, right? Surely. So I load up the written guide on Prez Evoker's raid healing from last season. Oh my god. When I tell you it was like a branching chart, like I was like, I literally spent an hour before raid. It was our alt night, so it literally didn't matter. But I spent an hour before raid reading this freaking chart. Still took away nothing. Like, not a single thing. It was ridiculous. It does in the raid. Prez can hit numbers that are other healers play. Yeah, for sure. It's insane. And you know, like, you think that like Resto Druid could do that, because like theoretically Resto Druid could just like have 40 rejuves out, and I mean, not, you can't really get 40, but oh shoot, I don't have the right keybinds. Ruh-roh. Whew, I'm glad I went for the pre-key renewing mist there. Oh, this is a vibe, dude.
The Ranger General.
Okay, this first pool is pretty hard.
While the Peacekeeper kept the calm. Which path will you?
Hopefully our tank's chilling, because I'm gonna spin as much as I can. Let's go on revival. Okay, we need kicks. Oh, I definitely shouldn't have dispelled the DK. Do DK still have that like thing where they have lesser duration debuffs on them? Is that still a thing? Because I know when I would do like Halls of Atonement last season, yeah, honestly, this and like the bosses are the hardest pulls in the dungeon to me. But when I would do like Halls of Atonement, if the debuff on the second boss would go on a DK, I would just say, okay, the DK, he's gonna have his own debuff. I'm gonna dispel the other person. Like 10 out of 10 times. I would just leave that debuff on the DK, because it had a lesser duration. Like here, I'm gonna diffuse and dispel. Next one, I'm going to, I have Big Shayloon saved up. I have a lot of Mana Tea saved up too. Let's get ready. I need to envelop and mist a few people just in case. Oh, did we kill it? Oh, we might have killed it.
Marisa was the peacekeeper of our family. She spent many days tending to
Chrono
the
in
birds,
last season was
but the
decent.
wilderness has
Flame Shaper was terrible. Right now, both Midnight LB. Oh, sorry, I was reading the the dyslexia really kicked in there. I was reading one chat and then I skipped to the second line of a second chat. That is funny. Okay, we're gonna cocoon one. Okay, this is a sketchy pool. I also don't have Chi-Ji yet. Okay. Live. I need to Rising Sun Kick, so my next one's instant. Drink up during the downtime. Oh, we're chilling, dude. Our group has some funnel damage out the wazoo. Do y'all see how quick these priority targets are dying? That is insane. I feel like I haven't seen that yet. Look at that damage, dude. Love to see it. Flame Shaper was terrible. Right now, both are black and Mythic Plus. Yeah, I agree. I do think, like, I will admit, Chrono has surprised me from what I thought it would be. Oh, I don't have Revival. This is so scuffed. Like, I thought Chrono would be much worse off without Spirit Bloom, but it's actually, like, doing better than I thought it would, right? Whew. These dots hurt, man. They hurt. But even still, like, I think maybe we're just so used to, like, Chrono Wardum, although it wasn't, like, the top tier healer last season, it was still really good, right? It's still pretty good. Look at that spirit font going. Oh. Okay, we don't talk about it. I'm about to touch a death it. Very nice, very nice. I will say this is one of my, like, least practiced dungeons, so definitely happy to get some reps in, no matter how they go. This next boss has been pretty troublesome. I think the last time I did this dungeon, though, I was playing single target Shayloons. It was either that I was playing single target and I wish that I was playing AoE, or I was playing AoE and I wish I was playing single target. One of the two. Can't remember. We're going to Alchemist the tank. And we're just going to keep on spinning. Spin through this dispersal. Spin, spin, spin. Come on. It's pulls like this where I'm like, I kind of wish I was playing Dance of Chi-Ji, but then again, you're like, you don't really need it. Like, look, everyone's health is fine. Fungal Bolt, no kick. Okay. Do you think we will be in Q, Hell, and Midnight LB? I personally don't think so. Especially if, like, word gets out of how much better we are post-buff. But the thing is, like, you know, I never check to see if, like, freaking Assassination Rogue gets buffed. I don't. So, I don't think any DPS players really go down and check, like, oh, Mistweaver was buffed, you know what I mean? Also, when people watch, like, you know, random videos like Eisenheart or someone, and they see, like, they watch who got buffed, I'm pretty sure a lot of the DPS players skip through the Mistweaver portion. So I just don't think that it reaches that many DPS people. So, I mean, it's kind of up to that. It's not up to us, it's kind of up to them, you know what I mean? Unless we're top of the meta, I don't think currently we are. I would like to learn Prez. Do you think Prez will be a bit easier to play next? Easier to pilot, yes. Easier to play, probably around the same. Just because, like, you'll have less tools than you used to, so, like, when you factor that in, you know what I mean? Or it's like, yes, they remove some spells from you, so, like, technically, easier. There's also less tools that you have, so technically harder in that regard. Okay, so it looks like the frontal's a little bit easier to see than last time I did this dungeon. Dude, last time this was so cursed. Hopefully I pop my Chi-Ji late enough to where once two people get the dot, we can enveloping this then. Yes, we can. Before Chi-Ji goes away, very nice. We get those long duration enveloping mist. I might cocoon. Yeah, let's just cocoon. Soothing missed the second person. I have Thunder Focus Tea, I have Conduit, so I need a Thunder Focus Tea before I Conduit. It is on me. Very offensive. Thunder Focus Tea, be Mage. Oh, you can't stand in that. You gotta move out. Dang. Here we have Conduit. We have Revival, but I'm gonna Conduit first because it's lower cooldown. Plus it gives me movement. Where's our DK? He's out of my range. Oh. God, this boss is so obnoxious, man. I kind of want people to lust this boss. Maybe it's that we have literally burnt through the trash. I feel like this comp has some pretty good trash damage. But I don't have much for myself. Luckily the Shaman popped the defensive. Do I have Cocoon? So I have Cocoon, I have Revival. So that was the Shaman's defensive. I'm gonna have to commit some Shayloons here. Okay, yeah, we need the tank to live. It's definitely a Revival. I'm gonna Thunder Focus Tea. Hey, I probably didn't need a Revival, dang. That's kind of sad. But hey, well, I was about to say 0 deaths. We did have a death. It was to someone standing in their circle.
Let's find the next relic.
I tried Prez, but for the life of me, I had no clue as to how they heal. It feels like they are prep / have abilities ready before big damage. Yeah, it's definitely a prep spec. You know, a lot of people think of like Mistweaver last season, Resto Druid permanently. Like all these healers, like Disc Priest in the past, there are these like ramp up prep healers. I think Prez is now like up there with Resto Druid and what I would call the prep healers. And a diffuse. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. We're just gonna Cocoon then. Dude, this Prio damage is nutty. That is insane. It's an Arcane Mage though, so maybe it's not that crazy. Maybe it's just bugged. If it's a mage, it's probably bugged. It's one thing I've learned. I will say we have a comp that like really relies on the positioning of mobs. So like the kiting, the little mini kiting that the tank is doing, I wonder if that's annoying the DPS because we have an Elisham that needs them to stand in his Earthquake, and we also have the Arcane Mage, which you'll see those little blue, I was about to say blue balls, but they're clearly purple, and I probably shouldn't say blue balls on stream, but those little purple orbs, there we go, that fly out. They kind of fly as like a little frontal. Pretty sure they want them to like be able to shoot through all the enemies and stuff. I don't really know that mechanic, but I just know I've heard like an Arcane Mage get all hissy about that. But that's okay. Hope your day's going well, Niceria. It is, and it's especially better now that you're here. How are you doing? What are your plans this weekend? Does anyone have anything fun lined up? I don't have like too many things. Me and my wife are going to hang out tomorrow. We're gonna make some food. Probably watch the new season of freaking Bridgerton. Hello, love me a drama show. So super stoked about that. We did catch up on Traders last night, so I kind of wish that we had like a, you know, half the seasons charged up. Maybe next year, since we'll probably have to like stay off the internet and stuff so we don't get spoilers. But maybe next year when Traders is coming out, if it's coming out like a little bit before Valentine's Day, maybe we should save up on it. But regardless, we have some Love Island. I think we're on the All-Star season. We have some Love Island All-Stars that we're going to be watching this weekend. Well, no, not this weekend. This weekend is probably all Bridgerton. There's a full season of Bridgerton dropping. Yeah, it's probably Bridgerton weekend. Other than that, though, we're going out of town next weekend. I'll have to look at the dates and stuff. I might have to like stream on Thursday instead of Friday, that kind of thing next week. Do I have the con? Oh gosh. Oh boy. Oh yeah, we're going out of town next week. Super excited about that. It's just for the weekend. It's like a little weekend thing. Other than that, like, you know, even though this weekend's Valentine's Day, my wife is like right in her busy season, so we're gonna just get as many seconds together as possible before she has to like go do a call or something. Ah, okay, so the UI thing might be out of date. I need to go back through and figure out a way to get you guys my UI. I've been trying to link my Danders. Okay, we can't have tank that. I've been trying to link my Danders frames to you guys for a minute, and Pastebin keeps taking my thing down. They're like, this is potentially harmful. It's literally not. It's a UI for World of Warcraft, but I've disputed their little taking down of my thing, so hopefully we can get that up and running. But yeah, the UI thing is a video that's pretty out of date. It still talks about weak ores and stuff. Okay, boss time. I need to save my roll charges.
I'll need it.
Save my Tiger's Lust. And drink some heals. Gonna drink some Mana Tea. I wonder if everyone focuses the caster just because they're simply like a caster, you know? I think I'm going to Conduit here. This first one. Just get a nice little Rising Sun Kick cycle. Okay. That's not good. I think this mage might not know the mechanics. That's okay though. We're making insane time. We've already made it past the boss that I kind of am scared of too. I'm gonna pop Chi-Chi here. Get that Spirit Font healing inside of Chi-Chi. Heaving Yank. Now that's a freaking spell right there. Heaving Yank. If they were to give the spell Heaving Yank to a spec in the game, what spec would it be? It's got to be like a supercharged version of Grip, right? Like it's got to be a DK spell, a Blood DK. I feel like Blood DKs deserve it. The tank is getting tank bustered. I can't see it though. Do y'all see it? I cannot see it. Maybe I'm good. Okay, we are kind of crowding the room a bit. I'm just gonna revival this one. Man, we are nuking Lash. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that is so bad. We killed him before. Are we dead here? I haven't seen that happen yet. So yeah, you do not need to kill him first. You need to kill her first, or she just infinitely pulses. I haven't seen that wipe yet. Oh, that's funny. So how that mechanic works is she like flies away and starts casting, right? Gotta kill at same time, if anything, her first. But she flies away, starts casting this like pulse, and it ramps up in damage, right? And he does this hook mechanic. It's kind of like what's that dungeon called? Theater of Pain? Not Theater of Pain. Necrotic Wake. It's kind of like Necrotic Wake where he targets a player, he's like, I'm gonna hook you. And it's your job to run behind her so he hooks her instead. And it stops her little channel cast pulsing damage. We're still like fine on time, right? I feel like yeah. So we killed him right before he threw that hook. And then she was like, okay, y'all are dead. Watch this. I could have cocooned the tank and just seen where that led to, but it wouldn't have been a kill either way. Mages are super squishy now, but then everyone is. Yeah, I've heard it, especially for mages, for sure. But I think Elisham's still, like, don't they not have their shield anymore? Now they just have the, we need to be better about space management. They just have their, like, actual defensive rate. Which, obviously, is fine, but you would like to have a second thing. I think they might have something else, too, right? They have the kick thing. If they kick a cast, they get, what, like 12% mitigation? Which isn't nothing. out of range. Get there, get there. This Tiger's Lust him. Very nice. See, that's the mechanic, is you just hook her, you run behind her, and hook her. Sometimes this boss is weird. It seems like we haven't encountered it yet, but sometimes when I fight this boss, like, dude, she goes, like, way off in a timeout. It makes it, like, extra weird. Especially, like, I've had that happen. It always happens when I'm on my priest, or, like, some spec that just has no mobility. Okay. Got curse removed. We'd love to see that. Shout out either Shaman or Mage. Let's spread these enveloping mists for this one. I'm going to get over here. I'll pop it offensive. I'm going to focus T. Very nice. See, like, sometimes she flies way far away. And it's especially annoying when you have, like, half the room, like, taken up, you know? Like, imagine we had this section cut off by the puddles, you know, just by chance. That's really annoying. But you do kind of want to kill them at the same time. Because, yeah, this is going to hurt a lot. Oh, please don't stack them. So I'm going to conduit for my defensive. We're going to cocoon that person. This tank buster is going to absolutely wreck the tank. So I'm just spamming into the tank. Yeah, okay, we live. Very nice. So yeah, that's typical, like, they enrage. Yeah, I don't know, I'll always walk that way. I just always do. Typical, like, when you kill one, the other one enrages kind of thing. Ellie Shaman has Ankh. Hey, big true. Dude, Ankh is the best defensive in the game. You're so right. Ellie Shaman has Ankh Marcel, that's good. I like that. Like, oh man, Ellie Shaman just doesn't have any defensive. What are you talking about, dude? They have Ankh. Like, best defensive in the game. You literally can't kill what's already killed. It's true. You can't deny it. Okay, I just need to wash my feet here. Also, you do want to try to break, those break ranks are like charges. You do kind of want to stand to the side of the mobs with like either the wall here to your back or like that little wall to your back. That way, if it does target you, you can run to the side, or it'll like not run too far off. So like the Shaman was doing good there. He was stacked on the wall. I need to pay attention to my feet. So does the Mage. So does the Mage. Come on, Mage. Killing me. Killing me, Smalls. I'd forgive him if he were top DPS, but he's not. I'm kidding. He has very clearly been top DPS some pools. Okay, watching feet, standing on wall. What I like about these pools, like you can, up until the interrupting screech comes out, you can basically just like spin for maintenance healing, just focus on survivability and stuff, and also be doing good damage at the same time. Just gonna conduit this. Very nice. Ooh, can we still time this, guys? Shayloon's Gift at Nyceria. What's the button between Conduit and Cocoon? Yes, it's the new Shayloon's Gift icon. It does. Isn't that an icon that we've seen before? Didn't they?
They took my life.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that like a Shadowlands?
One of Valeria's scouting maps is.
Wasn't that like Tear of Mornings
called on the ghosts
icon back then, or maybe not Tear of Morning, but Peaceful Mending, or I don't know. It was one of the Shadowlands. Legendary icons, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna stun. I can't tell if I'm targeting. I can't tell what I'm targeting, to be honest. I feel like I had seen this icon before. It looks like a breakdancing panda. Hey, you're not wrong. You're literally not wrong. He is getting down, man. He is boogieing. That's what we do. That is what we do. I know you druids, you know. Hey, druid icons have gotten some big updates recently. Like, didn't they make Convoke like a female caster now? That's huge, right? Make sure you don't have a breakdancing panda. But you got that. It's cool. Okay, this boss terrifies me, guys. I am not gonna lie. If I'm being totally honest, I'm kind of blanking on the mechanics here. Tank's asking a question as I'm saying I'm blanking on mechanics. This is not going to go well. Throw axe. This hurts. I know that racks up a lot of damage. Chain lightning, please kick it. Very nice. I would like to not use any cooldowns here. Oh, that hurts a lot. Still haven't used a cooldown. I am relying on my Shaylins pretty heavily. Yeah, all I remember is that pack just does a lot of damage, and you just gotta be ready for it. I did not expect it to take my mage down to 2% health in like an instant. Oh, but this boss scares me. I remember there's like an ad mechanic. A lot of dodging, that's right. And this you have to stack. So it's like a push-pull. You have to spread out and stack. Rampage. But did just use Shaylins. I feel like that's the right time to Shaylins, though. God, that tank buster lasts forever, man. Blade Storm, we don't want to be in melee for that. Gotta love being a melee healer, right? Here, you want to focus down, I think this guy, the Mystic, right? Yeah, he's the big health guy. He's also casting Flame Nova. I might have to pop Chi-Ji here. Actually, we're gonna revival. Yo! Welcome to Xiao's lesson. What's up, Felicia? I appreciate the support on the channel. Thank you so much, Felicia. Welcome in. We don't have many members on YouTube, so you are holding down the fort. But hey, we are so happy to have you in the Xiao's lesson. Get in, we're doing living. Okay, I need to drink. Woo. Thank you, I love your videos. I appreciate it, Felicia. I appreciate it. Well, hey, welcome in. We're happy to have you. Oh. Woo. I was in a bad spot there. I'm gonna Shaylins this next set, though. Or Chi-Ji this next set, just because, oh boy, I am stupid. Because we need it. We need to catch up here. Can't go that long without pressing Chi-Ji, plus this Flame Nova is going to hurt. Ooh, mages are made of paper. What the heck? Oh my word! I could have voice acted this. Yo, Ceiling Panda? On a 7-stream streak? What's up, Ceiling Panda? Go ahead and we'll get out of that. Oh, my sound effects. Okay, we're back. Okay, I have conduit here. Help the tank. Die, boss. Help the tank through the buster. Come out alive. We'd love to see it. Okay, do we have trash before final boss, or is it just straight boss? Pretty sure it's just straight the boss, right? Let's see. I know you're a healer. Aha, Dirty Mike, I see you. What DPS is looking good so far that you have ran with? I'm looking to get back into WoW after a long time. So I've seen a lot of good Frost Mage and Arcane Mage. Haven't really seen much Fire Mage. This is just purely from me being a healer watching what my team's doing. A lot of Unholy DKs, and they can do a lot of damage when it matters. Weirdly, I've seen a fair amount of Survival Hunter. You know, for Survival Hunter standards, right? I've seen more Survival Hunters than I have, I feel like, ever. Especially in a testing environment. And they're actually doing, like, more damage than I thought they would. I don't know if that means anything in DPS world. But it stood out to me. The new DH spec looks pretty good too. Oh, you gotta move out. Very nice. Okay. Did that without a cooldown. Love to see it. Be a little spread out. But those are like the ones that have stood out to me most frequently. You know, I haven't, like I said, I haven't really been paying that much attention to it, but the bit of attention that I do pay to it has led to that, right? Y'all have no idea how hard this is to heal. Oh man, there's so much healing. And we're almost done with the dungeon. I know I'm a little bit behind on chat, guys. I am so sorry. I will get there, I promise. I'm out of mana tea stack too, which is the scariest part. Spot heal this guy through that. I kind of... Ooh, we killed it! Hey, we killed it. I wasn't even paying attention. That was sketchy. That was sketchy.
Spirits that linger within these halls
Whew.
have found peace.
We slammed that. We did have a wipe too, so we were very much ahead of the time. But yeah, you see like all three of these specs I feel like are three of the ones that are doing pretty solid. More so, I'll be honest, more so these two stand out to me more frequently. Maybe it's just because we're coming off of a season that's like big Ellie Shaman season, so they're not like as standout as they were, but they're still very good, right? They're like discussing mechanics. I have no idea what they're saying, to be honest. You should clean, yeah. Okay. Tear of Morning is a similar icon, another panda silhouette, but with a cloud enveloping the panda. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I get tricked up. But I swear I've seen that icon before. Like I swear it was like some other spell or talent or a legendary or something. Like, I know it is similar to Tear of Morning. Now that I'm looking at this was the old Tear of Morning. I mean, it is the same panda. They just have it moving its arm, right? Breakdancing Panda is the new name of the spell. BDP. Alright, gonna cast BDP. Is it faster than Shaylin's Gift? No, it's the same amount of syllables. BDP. Okay, that was nice. Find a group. What else we got? Another Windrunner. What healer would you recommend for a beginner? Well, so I would recommend, honestly, go with, if I'm being totally honest, go with whichever class fantasy like sticks out to you the most. Like, for me, when I first started playing the game, I really just wanted to play a Resto Druid. Just something about the spec just called out to me, and that's how you're going to get into the game and enjoy it more. Because the reason why I say that, if you're brand new to the game of WoW, which I guess I'm answering this question differently, but if you're brand new to the game of WoW, go with that. And because odds are your first pick's probably not going to be your final pick, right? So just go with what will get you deep into the game first or better, and then you can always pivot, right? But, you know, if you are someone who's been playing WoW for a long time, which I guess that now that I'm rereading the question is probably what you are, I think, I mean, you really can't go wrong. Because, like, even the hard specs, other than Prez, I probably wouldn't personally recommend Prez Evoker. But, like, even Resto Druid is, like, seen as a harder spec, and I had fun playing that as my first healer. Mistweaver's probably a little... It has, like, some weird, like, intricate interactions. You do have to dive into the spellbook to kind of understand everything. Like, you kind of have to, like, go diving to just know what's going on, basically. But if you're willing to do that, Mistweaver's really fun. But I think my honest answer is probably like, I mean, it's always just going to be like Holy Priest. Holy Priest is just it's the more simplified one, right? Like they want it to be the starter healer. Although I don't think it's like, especially once you're pushing up into the high end, it definitely gets a little complicated. But you know, if you're just starting off, that's you don't really care about that, right? I guess we start our own key. We had a few Nexus Point Zenith fails the other day to some weird mechanics. Um, where's my key? What's today? Friday? So I guess, did my bags get cleaned? Was there like an update or something? A weird little balance tuning? Let's go for the Zenith. Alright. Well, let's just sit and wait. Let's see. Dirty Mike. What is the con? Oh yeah, that's a great question, Tuzlan. What is the content you're looking for? Because in Raid, it's totally different. In Raid, honestly, like I can't even look at any. Like, you can't really find any conclusive data from the Raid testing because so much has changed since then. So much was bugged during each test. Like the bosses were bugged out the wazoo. Like, so it's really hard to draw data from the the Raid testing. Turbinado is a great name. Rating M plus high end as well as grinding M plus. Thing is, for rating, you can play anything, and for M plus as well. If you want to push the high end stuff, you need to wait until after the beta. Yeah, honestly, one good thing with what you're looking for, Dirty Mike, is like also consider the spec you're playing. Oh, dude, I just got a message in game. They said, "Hey, I like your videos. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, heart." But consider the spec you're playing because, like, for me as a monk, I try to look for what specs are doing well that go well with a comp that I like to run. So, for example, if I have a good feral druid and I see feral druids popping off, that will stand out to me as a Mistweaver monk much more than if a balanced druid's popping off. If I see a balanced druid can do big AoE in Algathar Academy, I'm like, cool, so who can't, you know? But if a feral druid does some big AoE in Algathar Academy, I'm like, okay, hold up. That's a composition right there. So that stands out to me more. Whereas if you're playing like a druid, I guess you don't really care. You can go in either comp, right? But if you're playing like a holy paladin, you probably want like to see which like mage spec is doing best and like is shadow priest doing. But you want to start to like look around your comp as well because it's more than just like what few DPS are doing. But although like if you're doing plus 15s and stuff, it kind of can come down to that, like just which of the DPS are standing out. If you do want like a better answer that's from a DPS player themselves, I'm sure I haven't checked his channel, but I'm sure he has videos on it, and I know he always has reliable information. Vesperal TV is great if you want to see like where he ranks the DPS. One, he's played them all, and two, he just knows more about DPS, every DPS spec compared to each other than I do. So Vesperal, Vesperal TV, and he's a chill dude, so I would recommend him if you want that. Also, another person who has played, he's just cleaved every spec in the game on beta so far is Awu. He's a tank player, but I know he's been playing some healers. I feel like he's also played some DPS. That might also be someone else's input that you might want to look into. Those are my recommendations. If my answer wasn't adequate, because I pay more attention to healer. I'm not gonna lie. I have 3 working brain cells, and 2 of them are actively working on healing the team. The third one is just, I don't even know, reading chat, I guess. Have you tried Dance of Gigi talent? It's a blast, definitely worth it. Yeah, it is my favorite talent on the tree right now, Dance of Gigi. The reason why I'm not running it is because you honestly don't need it. I'm sure in like super high-end keys that trash is like the real struggle. You might need it just to push past the wall that you'll probably hit, in like really high-end keys. But, at least in these keys, like on packs where you're just spinning's enough. You don't really want to, you don't want to rely on a proc, ideally. So I kind of wish they'd change the talent to where it wasn't a proc. But you don't want to rely on this to proc in order to get use out of the talent, And it's also like, yeah, it looks so nice when it procs. All the health bars just like shoot up and stuff, but like, you were honestly, no one was going to die if you didn't get that to proc sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, So it is just, you know, I definitely think the value that we're getting out of like Mist Line, because this is the point that I would put into it. Now, granted, okay, don't get me wrong. I think in like Algathar Academy, since you do spend so much for a lot of damage, you can go dance specifically just for the damage, but like I feel like you just don't really need it for the healing aspect, you know? Not currently. Now, back in Priory, there were some times where I would go in with Dance of Chi just because every pack in Priory was a spin pack, right? Um, but yeah, I like it. You took out Emperor's Favor, okay. So I think personally I love the consistency that either of these talents provide. Like I either want my Shayloons to always hit 5 or like all 5 or always hit the one that I want it to. I hate it doesn't come up often, but sometimes it does where you Shayloon's gift the one person that you're like, it needs to go on this guy, but I really hope that the two others are these two DPS. And then you see like it cleaves onto the one DPS in the tank, and you're like, no, and the other DPS dies, no. Or it makes you commit your life cocoon. You're just like, no, why? So yeah, I don't know the inconsistency that base Shayloons gives. I can't do it. I can't do it. I think I value consistency a little bit more than like spiky, power kind of things. Personally, replace it with Dance pre-patch. I think Shayloons. Oh, pre-patch, 100% run Dance of Shaylin or Dance of Chi. You just want those dungeons over with quick, right? So if you're running pre-patch, 1000% go Dance of Chi. Just spin your woes away, right? Especially in Priory, don't even think, just spin. But here, like on beta and on these keys, I started off playing Dance of Chi, and then I was like, you know what, you don't need it, especially after they buffed Away the Crane. I just haven't found a need for it. I feel like it just, like I feel like one of the best things that Mistweaver Monk does compared to other healers is it scales really well on big pools. So like a Holy Priest might struggle a bit when you pull like 3 packs together. And yeah, Monk might too, but when you look at it, they're just spinning, so that we kind of excel in that department. So it's kind of like you. I don't know, how much do you want to invest in just making that better? Now, granted, like I said, there might be a point where like maybe you're doing like +20s and stuff, and base spinning just isn't cutting it. You just need a little bit like an extra oomph. Then you can go Dance of GG, but we haven't. Well, I don't think we're gonna hit that wall for a minute. Okay, do we take this mage with a 0 IO guy, or do we take this mage and just wait on a 5th? You know what? Let's put some faith. Let's put some faith in this guy. Nyax DK. I'm stupid. Survival is great. Boomy suck. Lock as long as it's Demo. I've seen Demo and I've seen Destruction lock. Uh-oh. The tank just messaged, do you guys know where can I find info about mobs? MDT doesn't show it. I don't know. Dungeon Journal, maybe? Dungeon Journal, maybe? You can search it on Wowhead. That's sus. Okay, what key are we doing? We're doing Zenus. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Poor Boomies. Without my mental support Boomy in the raid, I don't know if I can do DPS anymore. Yikes. Question is, do you enjoy melee or do you enjoy range? Boomkin really needs help. Really? I didn't know it was that bad for Boomkin. To be fair, the only Boomkins I've seen on beta so far have been like just honestly bots. Like straight up bots. No offense, but go watch the shorts that I've made. It's hard to watch, right? Yeah. New Devour DH will probably stay good. It's a new kid. They won't let it suck. Yeah, true. That helps. Cats are fluffy as well, and they look to be in a much better spot. That's good to hear. I haven't really seen many feral druids, but hopefully they're doing good. Ellie has no single target to speak of. Do they have funnel though? I feel like they have funnel, right? Or is it just all cleave? Show my healing details? Yes, sir. Sorry, Buitras. I'm behind on chat. You're going Volpera. Bears just scare me. Hey, can you show us what changes you made to your talents after the YouTube video from 2 weeks or so ago? Yeah, I feel like with this build, I just swapped Dance of Chi to Mistline now. Yeah, that's kind of it, I think. I'm going 5-man Shayluns. Maybe I had 1-man Shayluns last time, maybe? Oh, and 2-minute Chi-Ji. I really like 2-minute Chi-Ji. I feel like it's a preference thing, but I'm always a 2-minute Chi-Ji believer. Let's go ahead and do a ready check. Just let them know I'm not AFK. Lies, I totally fist-picked my monk in Burning Crusade. Oh, man. Rest of Shaman, Holy Priest is easy ones if you like them equally. Class Fantasy is Prio, though. 100% Class Fantasy. Our Shaman's pretty simple. Yeah, our Shaman, I guess, you know, I was kind of counting them out, but they are much more simplified than they have been in the past. Alright. Need to get closer. Alright, first pull of Nexus Point is kind of brutal. I'm going Press Evoker in Midnight. Wanted to go Resto Druid, but 3 Resto Druids in 1 guild is not good. Yeah, you just kind of cleave each other's healing. To be fair, Press Evoker does a lot of hot healing, I think, in Raid as well, too. So, gonna be a lot of, like, AoE hot-based healing. But you might be able to snipe some heals with those instant Verdant Braces, too. That's gonna be nice. Priory is a big dungeon to just spin and win. Yeah, sometimes I'm not even kidding. I did one run where I was playing with a friend, and I said I'm just going to spin. Oh, I haven't done this route in a minute. Okay, I kind of forget what these guys do. We need to Thunder Break this too, though. We are going to spin. I'd rather spin than count the mobs. Also, we're moving out of the Earthquake, so... That has, like, all of this guy's damage. Look at that. Yeah, if you do raid, if you do any kind of like big raiding, it does kind of matter what your group composition is. However, what I tell a lot of people, like, unless you're going for like maybe even not even cutting edge, like unless you're going for like a world ranking, right, of boss kills, I wouldn't really let what my raid group is playing kind of dissuade me from playing what I want to play personally. For example, like if 2 of my raid healers in my guild swap to Mistweaver Monk, personally, I wouldn't let that change my mind about playing Mistweaver Monk. Now, granted, like if I was already kind of like, you know, I'm probably gonna go Mistweaver, but I might want to go like Shaman or, you know, if I was already kind of on the fence there, we're just gonna spin away that Heal Absorb. But if that were the case, like, yeah, I'd probably just like let that be the nail in the coffin I needed, you know. But yeah, I'm just the kind of person that, like, look, I play this game to sit down and relax and enjoy playing a game. So I'm going to do whatever it takes, whatever I can to do that, you know. And for me, that's just playing. I value playing the spec I want to higher. But granted, like that does have to align with your guild. If your guild is pushing for like World Rank 1, you can't be the 3rd Resto Druid in the guild unless Resto Druid's like that broken, right? And even still, like there's a reason why you only ever see like 2 ofs in the Race of World first, right? Like 2 Prez Evokers. Shout out to Healing Elixir, man. Smudge! Probably should have booped it a little to the right. That's fine. Okay. But yeah, like, obviously that doesn't go for everyone. Like, a lot of guilds, if you're raiding in that guild, you probably should look at that. But obviously I'm kind of talking in exaggerations here. Like, I'm saying, like, if you're the 3rd Resto Druid, I'd probably at least think about swapping, right? Or at least have that discussion with your other druids. But if you're the 2nd druid, then it's like, yeah, dude, I just want to play druid. Let's go. Let's slam that rejuve button. All I want to do is headbutt my rejuve button. Probably shouldn't be spinning. Okay. Probably should just be And as much damage here as I can. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention. I kind of let that guy rot down a little too much. That's okay. That's what Cocoon's for. Kind of. Yeah, I think I'm really having a good time with this dungeon pool, if I'm being honest. I think Alcatlar is just a vibe. You just load up, you do a bunch of AoE. I haven't really dabbled in like damage trinkets. Do y'all know of any trinkets on the beta that just do big damage that a healer has access to? Because I used to love going into Alcatlar Academy, pressing Resonant Reservoir, and just doing massive AoE damage. Like, I used to love that. Or maybe that was the season where I used like a bunch of stat stick trinkets, I think, and then just I ran the buff where it's like whenever you press Chi-Ji, you gain haste, and then whenever you press this other thing, I don't know, I would just buff myself a lot and then spin a bunch. I don't know, but I used to love just seeing how much damage I can do in Alcatlar. Granted, nowadays you don't do like a fraction of the healing or damage you used to do. There's just so much bad space to stand on. And there's more. Okay. We're alive! Okay, I do think that what was killing us on Wednesday was a frontal. Watching it back, I'm pretty sure it was a frontal. Hello there, what's up, Mephisto? Also, Mephisto, I have to ask, did you play Heroes of the Storm, or did you play the original game that Mephisto's from? Or is Mephisto your name? Any of the ways, it's cool. But I know there's a character called Mephisto on Heroes of the Storm that's pretty cool. But I also know Heroes of the Storm pulls from a bunch of different like Blizzard IPs. Personally, I don't know which one Mephisto comes from. Maybe he's a WoW. Is he WoW? I can't really think of a spec that he's like though. So I don't think he's WoW. Haven't been able to catch a stream in a minute. Your beard's looking nice. Hey, I appreciate it. Today's a good beard day. Yesterday I was like, I'm gonna shave this thing. It's so annoying. I think I will shave over the weekend, but I don't know. I've just been chilling. It's like any moment that I could be going to get a haircut, you know, shaving my beard, I'm just like, I could do that, or I could do some beta keys. And you know, here we are. But I appreciate it. It's so nice to see you, Griffin. How are you doing today? Ah, it's from a book. Okay. Oh, and the Diablo, or the one I'm thinking of is from Diablo 2. I see. Do you miss Season 3 Harmony? I do so much. More than you know, Lauren. More than you know. I guess Lurin, maybe? Lurin Cox? I'm not sure how you want me to pronounce the name, but I do, to be fair. Also, Kazarf says, what do you think about Rushing Windkick? It has surprised me in Mythic Plus. You know, I used to play it in Mythic Plus just as a meme, to be honest. Like, it literally was just a meme. But it surprised me. There's been a lot of people playing it, and I haven't played it in a bit, but I know that when I did play it, I was like, okay, so this does more healing than I thought it would. Also in Raid, it racks up quite a bit, but it also does like fine damage in a world where that's, you know, what does that even mean? Shaman, save yourself. Okay, let's Chi-Ji. Oh, I'm pretty sure the tank is cleaving us, right? Like, Chi-Ji wasn't even enough to heal that. Yeah, that was just a lot of damage. But technically, if you had Lust, you can basically one-phase that, I'm pretty sure. Especially with that Arcane Mage damage. Holy bejesus, that's insane. It's from Dr. Faust, the book where the devil offers a bargain. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I can't read. Literally can't read. What does that say? I don't even know. I don't know. I can't read words. I just go off of vibes. So I'll look at a word and I'll be like, I think I know what that's trying to say. Never learned. Never learned. Okay, here we don't have Chi-Ji, but we do have Revival and Shout Out. We're gonna have to...
Listen.
Never mind. I was trying to stop their lash, but that was just so stupid. Did I get hit by this thing? I don't even think I was in that. Yeah, it was. Okay. I didn't think I was in that, but I guess I was. Maybe I need to steer a bit more clear of that. Come on, tank, live! I believe!
There will be no end to your
Live, run! This is peak gameplay. See, if I could read, I'd be able to tell you guys, but what did I tell you?
Don't forget to send the conduits.
Oops! Alright. Hey, we're fine, though. We made it out alive. Not really, but as a party, we did. We went right? Yes, we did. Oh, there's a port? Or no? Where are y'all going?
Lothraxian, this isn't what the
Is there a
light
port?
demands of us. Think of the lives that will be lost. Just trust
He
us.
is, oh, Shaman's back.
I thought would understand that at all. Shame.
Alright, we're fine. We bounce back, I believe. He's also a character in Marvel. Mephisto is. So they must be like, I bet, whenever there's a character that like appears in multiple different like IPs like that and stuff, it kind of tells you like they might be some kind of like theological character. Like, you know, Thor appears in everything, but it's because he was like in what, like Norse mythology? Norse maybe? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like whenever these characters appear in multiple different things, you can kind of like be like, okay, so what pantheon are they a part of? It's so the book was the OG. Okay, there we go. I see now. I see. Okay, I am just going to diffuse that dot off. That we have the damage mitigation, but I'm also conduiting. We need to kill this. Shout out Touch of Death. What other healer could have killed that there? I'll wait. Monk's OP. But that's like almost a guaranteed wipe. Speaking of guaranteed wipes, hold up. He ran over and I had Greb. I did not buff for him. Unless he just saw how much damage and healing I'm doing. I was like, whoa, dude. We need to shut this guy down. His feet are too big. Those kicks. How do we stop them? I feel like I'm the only one stopping that. Can we still time this? How good are we on time? We're like okay on time. We also didn't lust that last boss, so we're gonna probably lust this one? Honestly, we should probably lust like a pack here. I feel like I'm much more scared of a pack than this boss. That's just mean. Are we in combat with that thing? Or Tank Kingdom? I guess not. Don't stack. Don't stack. Alright. Did you get to let's see. Did you get to answering if there's a defined best in slot healing comp? Oh, I got a defense of that. Best in slot healing comp. Well, I definitely think. Oh, you mean like raid? No, I haven't. Honestly, I usually I have a much easier time like looking at raid logs from PTR and stuff. I'll be honest though, it has been a hot mess because one, any raid group that had a disc priest in it before it was nerfed, the disc priest just did all the healing, right? Like all the other healers look so bad. No, it went off. It did it? Oh, come on. So like there's already that just like skews data, right? Oh. That was the Brewmaster's Touch of Death that saved us, dude. Shout out, literally Touch of Death saving lives. No. Mistweaver's OP. Brother. Went to cocoon him. No, and it cocooned me. I did like a smidge too late. That's tragic. So yeah, no. It's just honestly the raid healing testing has just been a hot mess. In terms of trying to gather from it, right? Here's the Storm has no OG characters. Is all from no. Silly Panda. I'm pretty sure they have their own OG characters. I'm pretty sure Kira's an OG character, and Orphea. I'm pretty sure Orphea and Kira are OG characters, right? They have so like if you go to the character select screen, this is from someone who has put too many hours into this game. If you go to their character select screen, you can like filter it based on what IP they're from, so you can go like World of Warcraft characters, and I'll show you like Anduin, Jaina, Sylvanas, all those. Then if you, there's one that's like, I forget how it's worded. Whoa. Oh, that's so tragic. Of course, as mine fades, 3 spawn that are on each other. That's insane. Oh, we're still fine. Okay. Oh, what? What? I tried to cocoon him. Where'd he go? I literally hovered over his health bar and cocooned him. And then here I am getting cocooned again. What is that? Can I get both of these? I have cocoon on. Also pop my defensive. So yeah, we lit it easy. Who's that on? The DK? Let's hot him up. Ooh, this is going to be a weird way. Yeah, we're going to have to stand right where we are and go over here. The Shaman's fine, though. He's in a good spot. Yes, Mage, come over here. Yeah, I can conduit this. I'm going to have to spot heal the Shaman, though, because he is not in range of my conduit. Plus, he has a debuff. That was kind of a... It's kind of why, like, even though he was in a better spot than we were, you still want to be with your party. Just because it's easier to heal. And you could get marked by this debuff and need more healing after the knockback and stuff. Hey. So we've had some dumb deaths this run, but I still feel like we could time it, right? It's from the book. The book is from 1580. Ah, okay. Interesting. I can't tell you if I've ever read a book from 1580 or around that time, personally. I feel like I'm not, no. I don't know the oldest book I've ever read. Probably freaking The Hobbit or something. I don't know. I'm cooked, man. I am so cooked. I was a math kid growing up, okay? I did not do any kind of research or any kind of book reading unless it was like some kind of like National Geographic monkey book. Literally it. Am I playing Catch Among? No. We're playing the like standard. Get in there, build. That guy is like bugged over there. Do y'all see it? He is not coming over here. These packs are annoying though. You're shaman. You're kind of like forced out of melee. All right, Swarm. I just aggroed you, but like you're gonna bug us out of combat if I don't.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, I might have to revival, but no, we're just gonna, since that shaman's been taking some heat. Yeah, okay, we have to revival. Screw it. Probably should cheaty here. But I'd rather conduit here. Let's diffuse ourselves, dispel the other person, let's stun. Now that we're forced out of melee, I'm gonna spread some enveloping mists. I'm gonna conduit. I'm sitting crisscross applesauce right now. I don't know when the last time I sat like this was. There we go. Whoa, that's a cheesy right there. I can take this debuff, but I want to get it off the shaman. Also spinning there, because like one, we had a couple targets, but also I could not reliably reach them with my melee. Okay, boss is down, but are we going to clear more? We probably are, yeah. I'm going to try to stun here early. Especially because I think people have aggro. Definitely shouldn't have dispelled the DK of all people. Okay, I don't have diffuse magic or fortifying brew. We'll dispel the mage though. Over myself. We still have stuff over there. He's just saying be careful. Okay, this wall scares me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's like easy to heal, but like it just randomly gets out of hand. I also don't fully know everything that's going on. I did think that I knew what was going on, but then people memed on me about how I did it. That was pretty clean. I don't have Chi-Ji, I do have Conduit. Goodness, they're squishy. These casters, man. We don't have Lust yet. When is our Lust? Oh my god, I just missed my leg sweep. Swept nothing. Okay, I have Chi-Ji, I have Conduit, and I have Revival. It looks like we're sitting pretty, but are we? Is the question. Oh, I'm lagging out. What is this game? Oh boy. Okay. We survived. I came back to just in time to save that guy. Yikes. Maybe this is safe? Okay, we gotta be careful. There are ads over here. Also, we can't get booped off. Let's just say, like, warning. Oh, okay, yeah. Ooh. time. Yeah, it's funny because like every time that the DK has the little shield up AMS, they're like, oh, they're about to take no damage from that. But then when they don't, they take a lot of damage. Okay, I have revival for this next one. I'll also have touch of death earlier. Hey, we did it. Killing it. I should have reset my data before this game.
Farewell, old friend.
Hey, we got a trinket. Your healing spells and abilities have a chance to release a Spirit of the Dust Wrath, leaving to your target and healing them. If target's health below 40% Spirit retires and further gaining bursts. Yeah, I kind of wish that I reset my data, but I guess we could. How do you do this? Just show the Nexus. Okay, there we go. Right, no, that's not right, though. So it's still showing everyone's. I don't know, man. How come mage ports haven't been working for me? I swear. The whole entire beta, every time I try to... Oh, it's a Stormwind. I'm stupid. Don't... It's whatever. I've literally never even looked at what it was. I just haven't had it work. When I guess development is it bugged? People think it's a bug, but the way it works currently is it will like heal only full health people, right? Pretty sure that's what it is. And then like if someone goes to full health, it's like isn't bouncing to another player. It just like stops, right? I'm pretty sure like this line of text, the second little stanza there, has been like I'm pretty sure it is bugged. I'm pretty sure. The ports don't work while the mage is in a loading screen, though. That is true. I usually have to wait and just sit there clicking it. But now I'm stupid. I know it's because they're Stormwind. They're Alliance on Horde. What an idiot. This guy. Okay, let's see. Respect. Not only did you get both correct, you got all the OG HOTS characters. I knew it. I knew it. LBN, after this dungeon, you take a minute to talk through all of your healing abilities and how to properly use them. Just a few minutes to go over, not an hour-long thesis. Yes, let me drink. Let me drink. Okay. So, just like a little bite-sized talk-through of Mistweaver. A lot of what we're doing is we're trying to lean into our damage to heal as much as possible. The more that you can squeeze out of your damage, the more efficient you're going to be. But your damage can't do all of it. So this talent says that whenever you spinning crane kick, it's going to take the damage that you're doing, multiply it by 1.6, and then give that number of healing to 3 allies. So AoE packs, you'll see me spinning a lot because this is just very efficient healing, and I'm also contributing damage. On the other hand, though, in smaller size pools, I am leaning into ancient teachings. This says that your Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Rising Sun Kick, this is also what makes your Crackling Jade Lightning heal. But basically your 3 punches and kicks that are single target will heal up to 5 injured allies for that amount of the damage done split evenly. So what's tricky about this is, say that you're fighting a pack and only your tank is missing health, so one person's missing health, then you Rising Sun Kick, all of that damage will get multiplied by 2.85, and then just shot straight into the tank. So it's a lot of single target healing if that person is the only ally nearby that is injured. If all 5 members are at 99% health, it will split that number up. I'm not going to do the math here. It'll split that number up among 5 people and give them each a fifth of that number, right? But that's why you'll see me trying to punch and kick as much as possible, because one, it's doing good healing. It's also doing damage. And also every time you Rising Sun Kick, you're also kind of putting a little hot out. So you have this little hot renewing mist that is going to be spreading around, and if you're playing Mistline, it's going to be more impactful on the lowest health target, so it's just helping you keep the lowest people healthier. Also between pools, like during downtime, if I'm like pushed out of melee so I can't punch kick, if I have to move off, I just said that, like if we're moving to the next pack, I'll try to use my 3 charges of renewing mist just on 3 allies, just to have them going throughout the pool. Sorry about that. Also, in moments where like healing's about to, I'm gonna need even more healing, like it's about to kick up, like a big mechanic spot pop off or something, I'll take the time to spread a few enveloping mists. This becomes even more efficient when you have some procs as well. So some of those procs could be Strength of the Black Ox. Every now and then, you're gonna get this buff that looks like a little freaking brown poop streak here on your screen, to put it simply. And it just says like your next enveloping mist is also going to shield that ally for a good chunk, right? Because it does more to the person that you actually cast that enveloping mist on, but also it's going to shield everyone for a little bit. So that just adds efficiency to an already pretty strong hot. Also, the hot enveloping mist does amplify your healing to that ally. So if you have enveloping mist out and then you pop a cooldown like for a major moment, so say that you have like 3 enveloping mist out, and they're on your mage, your shaman, and yourself, okay, but your rogue doesn't have it. Then you press conduit. You, the shaman, and the mage are going to take amplified healing because you're going to have an enveloping mist on you, and the shaman or the rogue is just going to rely on the base healing that conduit does. So sometimes it's good to like prep up a bit and enveloping mist to get that little bit of healing bonus. They have decreased how much the healing bonus is, but when you also factor in that you're getting a nice hefty hot as well, it kind of you can see how it's like pretty efficient to take that time to even, especially if you have a Strength of Black Ox proc too. You're getting shields, you're getting a lesser cast time, which contributes to the efficiency, and you're just getting more hots. Also, to contribute even more efficiency, you can make that enveloping mist instant cast if you have Thunder Focus Tea. So a lot of times you'll see me like right before I conduit, especially before I conduit, I'll Thunder Focus Tea and enveloping mist to make it instant. It'll do a spot heal. It'll also proc Spirit Font because Thunder Focus Tea makes your next enveloping mist guarantee a Spirit Font, right? You can see that at rank 3 down at the bottom. It activates Spirit Font. So I'll like Thunder Focus Tea, enveloping mist, an ally, and then I'll start channeling my conduit, which is just AoE pulsing healing, and that does some pretty solid healing. On top of, you kind of do want to have your Thunder Focus Tea on cooldown before you conduit because the cooldown gets lessened and stuff. But yeah, so you basically play around these hots. You try to have these hots out before big damage, or just like have your renewing mist, helping you out with the healing throughout a pack. You want to do as much damage as possible because that contributes to the most healing as possible. Outside of that, you have your cooldowns Chi-Ji, Revival, Conduit. And Conduit, like I said, is just pulsing healing. Revival just does a big slam of AoE healing. So like ideally, if it's a big moment where you need a giant revival, you could spread a few enveloping mists before, but for the most part, you just kind of like take what you have and just press revival and just get the value from it, So revival just does big instant healing. Chi-Chi's a little bit more complicated. I'm currently running the 25-second one, so 2-minute Chi-Chi, but like you could run the 1-minute cooldown Chi-Chi and it only lasts 12 seconds. But how Chi-Chi works is it makes your enveloping mist instant cast always, so you don't need to kick to get your next enveloping mist instant. Just while Chi-Chi is out, your enveloping mist are instant. On top of that, they last longer. So your hots, the enveloping mist hot, will last longer. So what I like to do is when I summon Chi-Chi, a lot of times I'll do the initial blackout kick because I forget what part of the talent. They've mixed it all up, but let me see. One of these talents makes your Chi-Chi, Chi-Chi grants you 4 stacks of your next blackout kick hitting an additional time. So basically, you can blackout kick, press Chi-Chi, blackout kick again, and it'll be fully empowered. So that's just a nice burst of healing. And then you can just use your punches and kicks until you get everyone topped up, and then you can take the time to like spread a few envelop mist around if you want to, like maybe like 8 seconds into your 25-second Chi-Chi, and then you just kick as much as possible in Chi-Chi. And then what you'll see me do a lot of times is at the last few seconds of Chi-Chi, I'll take that time to reapply enveloping mist again, because one, they're instant, so it's a more efficient enveloping mist, but two, like I said, while Chi-Chi's out, they are longer duration. So I'm taking those like last 3 or 4 seconds to spread enveloping mist out, because those are going to be 14-second enveloping mists that are instant cast. It's just easy to do so. That way you can kind of extend how much value you get from that Chi-Chi outside of the 25-second window, kind of. So yeah, you'll see me do that a lot. What else is there? Oh, Shayloons. Shayloons is a big one. So Shayloons, I'm playing Shayloons. You can either play Shayloons or not, and it becomes Vivify, which is just a spot heal. Kind of basic. But Shayloons is super sick because like as you're in combat, it sits there and like collects stacks, right? You're just building up stacks, which are just little clouds of mists. And the more that it has, the more stacks that it has, the more healing it'll do. So like right now, I've just been sitting here AFK, so I have 0 stacks of Shayloons. So if I Shayloons, it's doing, what is that? I'm pretty sure like what, 10k healing? Yeah, about 10k healing. But if I were to be in combat for a couple seconds, it would do significantly more healing if I had more stacks. The cool thing about it is this new talent, Tranquility, you can kind of force more stacks. So if I just Shayloonsed and I'm back at 0 stacks, I can drink Mana Tea to give myself more stacks again to empower the next one. So that's really cool, especially when you factor in this talent here. This is the last talent I'm going to talk about. Vivacious Vivification. After you Rising Sun Kick, your next Shayloons is instant. So you can like instant Shayloons 10 stack and it just like slams big healing on everyone. And then you drink a little couple stacks of Mana Tea, like maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, I don't know, just a couple stacks. And then you just get back to your maintenance rotation. And then the next slam of damage, you can do a big Shayloons as well. So like it's just really solid healing. But that's kind of like the gist. That's like the basics. I feel like I touched on everything, but I probably didn't. So probably missed a few things, but who knows. Also, Zark redeemed a hydrate. Hey, I got some water here for you. So if you had one person at 50% and then 4 people at 98%, it would do the same healing to all 5. Yes. But the cool thing is like, if it's a blackout kick, so say that you have like Tiger Palmed up a blackout kick, right? Let me fly over here to this little, all I heard is spin, baby. There you go, Brother Bear. Brother Bear was listening. So say that you stacked up your Tiger Palm, so now I have 4 stacks of Teaching of the Monastery. My next blackout kick is going to hit 4 additional times. It also will cleave onto these 3 dummies. So you see, I am at like 80, about to be 84% health. Imagine that I had an ally that was at like 10% health and it was just us 2 in the party. It's like we're running like PvP duos or something. If I blackout kick, the first few are going to split half and half to both of us until I'm topped up, then the rest are going to go into him. So it kind of works like that, and it works like that across a fight. So a lot of times you can game it. You can try to, like if you see that you're in a situation like that, where everyone's at 99% health and one person's at 50, you could just Tiger Palm one more time, and maybe that Tiger Palm takes the 99%ers to 100, and then you like do your big blackout kick. You know what I mean? And that could be that a lot of times. Like I'll do that. Like sometimes if I see everyone's at 95% health, I'll do like Rising Sun Kick first, and then the big blackout kick AOE. And that way you can kind of just be more efficient with how you use your globals. And that's kind of where the like min-maxing and like in the moment, like muscle memory, everything kind of comes in handy. Where the more hours you put into Mistweaver, the more you kind of get accustomed to things like that, like little minor things like that. Like yes, it's less efficient to Tiger Palm 3 times than 2 times, because the third one doesn't give you any stacks of of Teachings of the Monastery. Where is it? Like your third Tiger Palm doesn't do anything for you other than just doing Tiger Palm damage. But if you have some people at 99% health, it might be worth it to do a third one. You know, this is kind of like the micro thing. Whereas you could just press the blackout kick and it would still be fine healing, right? But yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot of intricacies, so it's kind of hard to do a quick little explanation of Mistweaver. But hopefully that was bite-sized enough. No, Zarkenfruit, you don't have enough points for your mom? Oh, man. Oh, man, can I fix that? Can I give you some points so you can hit me with your mom? But I don't think I can. Yeah, of course, of course. Hey, Brother Bear. Okay, whatever. Y'all aren't supposed to work together to say your mom. What are you doing? Oh, ridiculous. What is this? Oh, seat. I avoid this dungeon. To be fair, this dungeon was bugged for a lot of the beta. So the characters that have done it on good levels were either weeks ago or like very recently. But I do, let's see, is my UI where I want it to be? I feel like I'm tracking everything I care to track. I might be tracking a little too much. Like, why am I tracking para? But now, like, now that I don't have a kick, I guess it is more... Okay. Evasively, what are you doing? Comes in here, doesn't say a single word. Drops of your mom. Whatever. Do you still think Tranquility is worth it after they nerfed the Cloud bonus and buff Shayloons by itself? I mean, I still think so. But, yeah, like, technically it did lose value. because like the more you stack it up, the relatively like less it's doing per cloud. You know what I mean? Than it was before, but I personally I still think so. Yeah, Tranquil T is goated. I will be hard pressed. You will be hard pressed to not find me playing this talent. And look, I don't even know what I just said, but I mean it with my full heart. This talent is fun to play around. It creates a fun gameplay loop in my eyes. Some people probably hate it. I love the gameplay loop around Tranquil T, and I think it is very powerful. There are moments where I can heal a pack with just Shayloons, whereas otherwise I'd have to pop Chi-Ji, and it kind of saves Chi-Ji for the next pack and stuff. I was inspired by Zark and Brother Bear. I give in to peer pressure 10 out of 10 times. Evasively, yeah, I can't even blame you. 10 out of 10 explanation. I can't blame you. I can't fault you. I can't fault you at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm running it as well, but I am testing around with Veil sometimes. I've seen some people playing Veil. I have, and I used to love Veil and think that it was the way. I don't know. I've hopped on the Tranquil T train, and I don't see my exit coming up, to be honest. Of course, goodness. I was about to say, of course, Felicia, and then I had a cough fit, but whatever. Maybe people just like don't want to run 16s. Are there any 15s showing? There aren't. I mean, we could just do a repeat Algathar. I feel like I want to get more reps on Magister's final boss, but I hate having to go through that whole dungeon just to get another rep on the final boss. Because if you haven't seen, they did like semi-recently change how the final boss works. In a good group, it's easier than it used to be. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that I was used to the old ways. I did not mind the former version. We could try a 17 Skyreach. 17 Skyreach has some crazy heal checks, though. There's this one boss on Skyreach where I feel like we're doing it wrong. I feel like there has to be a better way to do it, where basically he has 3 beams that try to shoot at him, the boss, and you have to stand in between the boss and the beam to keep it from hitting the boss, right? But it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to those 3 people, and it's like it happens constantly throughout the fight. Meanwhile, the tank has a frontal that he's trying to keep off of you guys. So, and there's also just big AoE damage coming out. So, like, you'll run out of stuff really quickly in Skyreach. Even in a 15, it's hard to heal. But I wonder if there's a world where, like, is the tank supposed to be soaking one of them? That way us DPS, like us squishies, can be better about our defensives and stuff, maybe? I don't know. I heard the second boss in Skyreach is bugged, does like 40% more damage than intended. Hey, that checks out. The fact that we were able to heal it in a 15 alone is crazy, but yeah, it is giga cranking. It hurts a lot, like a whole lot. I could do it. I could sign up for it. Cause no one's even signed up for my key. I could sign up for it. No promises. They let me in. Team Ty, what's good? Ty, I don't know. I'm sure your name is just Ty, but whenever I see Ty spelled like that, it yeah, like I have a much easier time on like my Resta Druid because it feels like you never run out of resources on a Resta Druid. But to be fair, last time I did the key, I think I was running single target Shayloons, and I don't think that's the play. But anyways, every time I see the name Ty spelt like that, there's a game, I don't know if you played it, but Gears of War, they had a character named Ty who had a very sad story, I guess, and he was one of my favorites. Is there any groups that we could join? Does no one make dungeon guides? So I try, like I have a few. They take a long time. I want to make them, but I just don't know how, like, they are so, they are very time consuming. I do really want to make some dungeon guides this season though. And yeah, that, like Fluff's saying, sometimes you make it and then they change something. Like, I literally, let me even pull up something from last season. The reason why I did not make them last season was, let me pull this up for you guys. I spent all this time writing this super in depth. This was half of the dungeon, by the way. Didn't even get to the second half of Halls of Atonement. Write this whole guide. They legitimately changed the entire dungeon the day after I wrote that. And I was like already recording and I had made some graphics for that video. And I was like, dude, that's so stupid. And then I was like, so do I remake it? And then do I remake the ones that I've already made? And I was like, no, just scrap it. We're just not doing it this season. So like I do want to make it, but it kind of has to come out. The sucky thing is like you want to make your dungeon guide ideally like before or as the season comes out, but that's kind of when all the changes hit. Whenever they do these last second changes, so you're just like trapped in this weird in between of like, should I make it before and risk it, or should I make it after and just like miss out on when most people look up the guides and stuff, you know? But yeah, like some people make them. There is this one guy, Brother Bear, because I don't think you know about him, but his name was Quasi, and he made these like super in depth, like 45-minute long watches, which 45 minutes for a single dungeon was a lot, but they were very like good for information. Like if you wanted to know every in and out of a dungeon, this was kind of like the best way to do it, right? However, he did just quit making content. Well, he quit making WoW content. I haven't really seen, but he used to make Final Fantasy content, so maybe you know him from the Final Fantasy world. But I liked his. There were some dungeons where I was like, dude, what is killing me here? And then I go click on his 45-minute video, skip to that one part, watch it for 30 seconds, and be like, I now know everything about that mechanic. So those were valuable, and I do intend on, if I do something, so open spot for content creator, hey. Yeah, no, I do want to make similar things to that, but maybe more toward healing, because like I don't want to have to take the time to put in a video about everything that a tank should do, but I do want to make like healer's guide to this. I used to do that. I did that during Dragonflight, but I did it way too late in the season, so no one was looking for a guide, you know? So I'm thinking like the first week of this season is when I'm gonna like do that, but the problem is like I can't both make those guides like a guide a day basically and stream that week, and it would be the first week of the season. That's kind of the hardship for me. Now if I had an editor, or if I was like a bigger streamer who people, you know, think of the ones that have editors basically, those are usually the ones that can get away with doing that, because then they can both stream the first week and make the guides. But being, you know, on the small side, you just can't. There's some things you can't do, you know. You kind of have to sit out on videos that you would want to make. Okay, you know what? We will sign up for a Skyreach. I feel like this dungeon's hard. We won't get anything out of it. But like I said, this dungeon's hard, and I wouldn't mind another rep on the hard boss. Final Fantasy's main guide maker is Hector. Hector's a fun name, dude. Kind of wish there was a WoW content creator named Hector. I'd reach out and become friends with them, to be honest. Yeah, it's kind of like a lot of different factors that go into why it's hard to make a guide week one of a dungeon or of a season. All right, team. We're looking for a 15. Yo, what's up, Kane? How are you doing? It's nice to see you. I feel like it's been a minute, right? Hopefully all is well in Kane land. Oh, man. Am I the only person that gets, like, allergies in the winter? I've always had, like, bad spring allergies, because I feel like everyone does, but, like, mine have been, like, ridiculous. But also, like, weirdly get winter allergies. And now that I live in a different state than my family, whenever I visit my family in the summer, I think my, I don't know, immune system or whatever isn't built to defend against the pollen over there. So even though it's just summer when we go and visit, my allergies even flare up then, because it's just, I can't escape them. I'm just one walking allergy. It's redonkulous. And there's also the risk of a bigger creator getting ahead by a day and you basically waste all the work. Yeah, that is true. I mean, to be fair, as long as, like, when you're my size, you kind of just have to be confident and, like, put in the time to make your guide as good as possible. And like even if you're like say that I released a guy like a day later on the same dungeon as someone else that's just much bigger, like I don't know, say that like, literally Max, that's like the biggest creator I can think of. If Max made this dungeon guide, then I made that same dungeon guide a day later. Like as long as I'm the way I work is like as long as I'm confident in the video that I put out, I will be happy with it being out. You know what I mean? Like it can get no views. I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, like I kind of when I make a guide, I put in so much time and effort into trying to make it as good and up to date as possible and like look clean and everything. Um, so I feel like I don't even look at how many views and stuff it gets, even though it is kind of defeating when you do post it in like flops or whatever. But I'm like as long as I'm happy with it, like I know I did my best, then that's kind of where I go with guides and stuff. And I feel like that's the best way to do it because you're at the end of the day, like you can't really compare yourself against the void, right? The videos that haven't been released, you can only compare yourself to what you know you can do, and that's kind of how I treat the guides. It's like yeah, it would suck. It would definitely suck, and that's worth noting, especially being a small creator. Like time is definitely money, right? But I don't know. I don't. I guess I'm so used to that at this point. Like, being a small content creator, there's always going to be someone bigger that either does it first or does it after you, and both are equally frustrating, right? So it's just, you just get immune to it. Because if they do it after you, which has happened, but you can't blame them, right? Snikers. I'm sure it's probably Snickers, but hey, Ellie Ninja, great to actually. Holy fluffs. Calm down. Fluffs hitting us to 56 subs with a 5 gifted. Whoa. I appreciate you so much, Fluffs. Us monks, we got to sit together. You also said, cool way to look at it, not gonna lie, very monk-like. I guess true. Dude, Fluff's just like slamming that gift button. Well, hey, let's slowly work on growing. I'm telling you, when the season finally starts and like I have all my guides made, I'm just able to sit down and play the game. I'm gonna be streaming way more than you guys want me to. Y'all are gonna get so tired of my face. Now the downside of that is like some of my videos might just have to be like edited VOD clips, like where it's just like me doing a dungeon on stream, which I try to avoid doing that a lot. But like I do want to get to where I can stream more. I do, like I really, really do. So yeah, we're gonna grow this season. I'm telling you, Midnight is going to be. Y'all are gonna see a lot of me, so get ready. I guess brace yourselves, shield your eyes. Okay, but Sniker says, "Hey, LV Ninja, great to actually catch one of your streams. Love the content, my man, from the UK. What's good, Snikers? We are. Where are we going? We're traveling somewhere. Are we going through the UK? I feel like we're stopping through the UK. I can't remember where through, but we're coming up. We're gonna go on a trip to Europe, just for a little bit. But I feel like we're gonna stop in the UK. We're kind of debating now. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you so much, man. How are you doing? Hey, I love your TV. I love me a good like UK drama reality show. Trash TV in the UK is built differently. Okay, it's good stuff. So I appreciate you for what you. I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah, the golf clap for sure. But Fluffs, I appreciate you so much. Too kind. I've kind of mentioned it, but like this season, we're gonna be gaming a lot. I'm gonna push up the monk early this season instead of doing that early of an all healers to 3K. I'm still gonna like be playing the healers, but I'm not gonna make it like as much of a series on YouTube. I might do like I don't know, like maybe as each heal. You know what I might do is kind of just make a video where it's like the final push. Like okay, we're starting this video. The shaman is at 2,500. Let's get it to 3K, and then like boom, we do that in a stream or something. You know, like a 12-hour stream. We do that. I just have to edit that one stream. That's that video. The shaman episode done. Instead of going from 0 to 3K for specifically the series, I feel like that would be better, right? Thinking of doing something different this season and trying Monk Drifted. Okay, pop off. Welcome in. I usually DPS, but would like to have the opportunity to tank or heal. Yeah, that's honestly, if you're looking for a fresh version of World of Warcraft, play Monk, Druid, or Paladin. That is the most fresh you can get because you get the whole game, where instead of getting a third of the game. People who play Mage every season is great; they love it. But I've seen more Mage players get burnt out than I have Paladins. You know what I mean? Paladins are always here because they get tired of Ret, they just swap specs. Now they're a tank. So I definitely agree. However, I've heard what Windwalker and Mistweaver are terrible. You probably heard that Mistweaver was terrible before the buffs. Mistweaver's definitely. I mean, Mistweaver's doing pretty good from what I'm ex- actively experiencing. Before the buffs, though, I will say, yeah, Mistweaver I would have put like toward the bottom of the healer totem pole, and it wasn't like the biggest buff ever, but it was a buff that they needed. Yo, Ceiling Panda, what healing class would fit best into Minecraft? Okay, so not Druid because you would turn into a bear, and then like you would get hunted by other Minecraft players. Um, Same with Prez Evoker. If you turn into a dragon, you might get mistaken for the Ender Dragon, or people would just want your head on their wall. Um, Resto Shaman. Okay, it might actually be Resto Shaman because you can kind of like control the rain and lightning. You give yourself a Riptide Trident and you're flying. Okay, Resto Shamans would go crazy with the Riptide Trident. Um, who am I missing? Holy Paladins. What would they do? I feel like Holy Paladins would just find a village and just like post up in the little church. And same with Holy Priest. Like what else would they do? Maybe Holy Paladins would be. Have you ever seen um, the D&D movie where there's the Paladin that's the NPC and he's the same guy from Bridgerton like season 2 or something or season 1. I don't know. But he just walks around and just slays all the bad guys, and he just like is the most well-spoken paladin there is. I feel like there could be a paladin like that who's just like Minecraft Steve, who walks around and just kills all the withers and that. So like maybe Holy Paladin, but yeah, Holy Priest would just post up in a church somewhere. Disc Priest would live out in the swamps with the witches for sure. So my I would say Shaman, 1000%. Shaman would fit best in Minecraft. The guy that vanished from Bridgerton with no explanation. Yep, him. I watched a show or a movie the other day that had him on it, and it always it's always fun to find people that you know that are kind of like B list, C list actors like in different things. And now I'm forgetting. I'm blanking. I saw him in something. And I was like, whoa, it's the guy from. I say from Dungeons and Dragons, but I think my wife I said that in my head, and then my wife was like, "Whoa, that's the guy from Bridgerton or something." But yeah, no, his season was fantastic. That was some good TV. Y'all talking like y'all aren't altaholics. I didn't think anyone could play just one character. I know, right? 12-hour shaman gets some. Yeah, I know, right? You're so right. I don't know. 12 hours for shamans, ridiculous. For me, it always takes like so much less time on the shaman, and it takes so much time on the disc priest to get to 3K. It's not even that I'm bad with disc priest. It's like I feel like I don't enjoy it or haven't in the last few seasons, so I put off the disc priest till later in the season. And then you get these groups that like don't help you, like they don't kick casts and stuff. And playing a disc priest when no one's kicking casts is impossible. Whereas like other specs that are actively worse than disc priest. So like Holy Priest, for example, you have an even easier time because one, you can stun the cast, and two, you have like better ways to top them up before the big AoE slam. So like, it's just the Disc Priest curse with that series, man. It's so bad. Are you planning to level in Midnight as Mistweaver or different spec? I always level as Mistweaver. I've considered going as like Windwalker or Brewmaster even just because I know it would be quicker, right? I don't know. I've just always done it as healer, even to my own detriment. Like when I first started playing this game, I was telling my friend I want to play a druid. He's like, "Hey, play Resto Druid." And he was like, "Dude, I promise you, swap to cat form. You will level so much quicker. Swap to Boomkin." I tried it for a day, hated it, and leveled all the way to level 70 at that time. leveled all the way to level 70 as a Resto Druid, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Just Sunfire and Moonfiring the enemy, and then literally running around, hotting myself, trying to live. And doing that for everything. I couldn't even stop to plant to cast a Wrath to speed up the kill. It was just dot and run all the way to level 70. It was awful. And I didn't even know you could level through dungeons at that point. And it wouldn't have gone well if I did. I love Brewmaster, but I get anxiety tanking. Like I can only play it on half my healer's rating. I kind of get that anxiety with DPS. I know DPS is like arguably the most chill role. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that I'm bad at DPS, or like I never play it, where I always get like, I don't know. Maybe it's just flashbacks from the healer role. I don't know. But Ceiling Panda, what do you think? What would be the best fit into Minecraft of all the healers from your perspective? Housing idea. Flussmonk says, Evoker heads for the walls. Gotta pitch that to Blizzard. I mean, if they ever do like a Minecraft, World of Minecraft? Oh my god, hold on. Call up the marketing department. I'm cooking. World of Minecraft. And it's like, instead of doing Plunder Storms, it's WoW, but Minecraft. And you have to go in and kill, like, who's a famous... Who's like one of the bad guys that's an evoker? Or at least a Drakthir. What was that guy? Oh, what was that guy's name? Oh my goodness. For sure, Resto Shaman? Yeah, I think it's just gotta be Resto Shaman. Dude, no one's queuing up to this group, by the way. I don't know what it is. Gotta place water buckets on top of players' heads. True. Honestly, every Shaman transmog is just a water bucket on their head. For sure. But what was that guy's name? He was Nether... Microsoft owns all the craft games. World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Minecraft, and Warcraft. Interesting. So it could happen with Cursive Binding. Yeah, for sure. What? I can't even think that guy's name. He was like the Black Dragon, and he was over by like Neltharion's lair. Oh, his name is Neltharion, right? Because it was his lair. I'm stupid. Wasn't that the guy, Neltharion? He could be the Ender Dragon, right? And that could be Minecraft. What would the Nether be? The Nether would just be... The Nether would be Torghast? Hold on. The Nether's Torghast. World of Minecraft's happening. Even if it's just in here, it's happening. Wait, this is so real. But what would you mine? Because you literally can't mine. Unless, like, the world is just made of, like, the mining veins or whatever. I don't know. Nether, Ironforge, or any Alliance area. We just need Garrosh back. We make it happen. Honestly, like, Orgrimmar gives kind of Nether vibes, maybe. No, it's just red. But, like, this red stone back here, like, the stone that it's built on, kind of. Torghast, don't you pull that evil on me. Torghast was a good time, okay? We liked it. No, it's not just Stockholm Syndrome. You liked Torghast and you know it. You miss it. You know what? We're bringing back Torghast. It's Shadowlands 2.0. Okay, so what do we have? We have 12.0 is Midnight. 13.0 has been announced as well, right? But has 14.0 been announced? I think 14 as well. What we're waiting on is 15. If they don't do just Torghast as the next expansion, I'll be pissed. Imagine an entire Torghast expansion. They remove mounts from the game. They decrease walking speed. And the only way to get gear, there's no dungeons. The only way to get gear is either raid or world bosses and weekly quests and stuff. And that's it. That's Torghast. That's World of Warcraft 15.0. Coming at you in 2032. It'd probably be before that, like 20, probably 2030 to 2032. Who would play that? And then when you think of the game could be that, right? It could be Torghast 2.0. Does Midnight sound that bad? No, it doesn't, right? And this is how you cope yourself into liking Midnight. We're there. I helped you guys. You're welcome. That one's free. If you're having trouble with anything in life, just think this could be Torghast. I like to level a tank, healer, ranged, and melee DPS. Each expansion this time around, I'm looking for Monk for tank and heals. Survival for melee is a great choice. And Evoker for range. Evoker for range is pretty good because you have like two options. Well, 3 ranged options. That's a good choice. I like that. And it gives you access to support as well. I like your lineup, Snackers. I really do like that lineup. I'm a huge survival fan. I haven't played it in many seasons, though. We might have to ditch this group and hope for another one, unfortunately. Chert and Chaklin. That is ooh, a Magister's 18. Yes, chef. Put me in. Declined. Probably waiting on like their druid friend or something. Druids, man. Like I want to do this 15, but just no one's queuing up. What do we do? Start a group. We've already tried to start the seat. People love running Algathar. I mean, just to get a key going, let's just do an Algathar. So sad. But just to hope that people will queue up to our key. We're going in. How do I unsub from this nonsense? You're trapped. You're in Torghast now. You can't escape. It's Shadowlands forever. I mean, they retcon the entire Shadowlands lore, so let's just do it again. Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, don't we have to find out like what truly happened to Anduin? Let's see. How could they do this? How could they go back? Did we full on killed Sylvanas, right? Is Sylvanas dead? I feel like it was one of those situations where it's like, she's dead, but is she? Now I'm forgetting the whole lore. Did we kill Sylvanas? I know we fought her in a fight and beat her, right? But she's like done? Or is she not done? See, saying Torghast and you're already yawning, it's the allergies. I'm telling you, my eyes are itchy. It has nothing to do with Torghast. We liked it. She's just trapped in the mall, so she's still there? Interesting. How did I miss that? No, we did not kill her. She's in the mall. So didn't she do the thing where... Was she the one that, like, grabbed the helmet and, like, broke it? Ceiling Panda says she's stuck doing dailies in the mall. That's the life, baby. That's the life we all seek. Sylvanas is living La Vida Loca. We are all jealous of Sylvanas. She's in the mall seeking redemption. So did she give like some kind of speech where she's like ashamed of what she did or something? And I'm pretty sure it was like when the Arbiter, her, like us, and like all the NPCs were all standing in like a big circle on this like platform after you kill Mythic Sylvanas, and she's like, "I'm sorry." Like, she didn't say these words, but didn't she say something like how she basically regrets what she's done and stuff, and like she's gonna stay in the mall to try to correct it? Or am I making that up? Because that sounds right, but I also never listen to cutscenes. It's called Blizz was too scared to actually kill her off. Oh, she's a cool character. I wouldn't want to kill her off. She's awesome. She's like arguably one of the cooler NPCs. Dude, we are not going to get into a dungeon. This is cursed. Let's queue up to this one. No, she was awesome. I mean, yeah, look, I am someone who I have not played a tier where she was not Shadowlands Sylvanas. I have only seen Shadowlands Sylvanas, and I still think she was cool. And I know a lot of people love her from back in, like, when was it? Like, Wrath? Through, like, BFA or something? I don't know. I don't know when her first little thing, like, bit was, but I know a lot of people think she's just, like, really cool. Yeah, that was her who broke the helmet. Okay, so I did remember that. There was a quest in pre-patch with her nephew, whose name I've forgotten. Same. They need to kill an Alliance hero. Too many Horde are dead. Yeah, because didn't they kill did they kill Thrall? I feel like he was like the last big death, right? Erator. Erator's her son? Nephew. Who's her sibling? Who's Sylvanas' sibling? How does she have a nephew? I say, I don't know any of the lore. Teach me. Fill me in, and I'll reward you with 3 years of tour guests. You get the maw, and you get the maw. Okay, but like, Shadowlands was awesome. OMG, try playing the game, noob. I know, right? Who is this guy? Sits in queue forever, doesn't know any of the lore. Illyria. I didn't know they were siblings. Okay. Sylvanas Windrunner. Okay. Yeah. Checks out. I believe. Do I just queue up for this so I can get into a freaking key? There are 3 Windsurfer. 3 Windsurfer sisters. So Illyria... I'm sorry. Yeah, War Within. Literally, we spent all of War Within with her. I didn't know... Like, I knew she was, like, a new cool character, but... See, me, who has never seen Illyria before, seeing her in all those cutscenes, everyone's like, whoa, this is so cool. Illyria's so cool. I'm like, she's alright, but, like... Oh, is her other sister... Don't tell me. I don't want to say it. Because then y'all are going to make fun of me. Because I know I'm wrong. Is it, like, Tyrande? I don't think it is, but... What? I should just not. This is embarrassing. I'm just embarrassing myself. Tyrande? No. She has a bow. She hates Sylvanas, right? Get out of Mythic Plus. I know, right? I just log in, do Mythic Plus, and log out. This guy. Okay, let's do the hard dungeon. Really, though, you just have to get past that one boss, because apparently it's bugged. Doing way more damage, and then you're big chilling. No? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Who's their third sibling? What? And yeah, I had no idea. Did not even draw the connection that they were sisters. I was like, oh, another bow person. Another hunter. Cool. They're like, I just thought it was a new character. To be honest, I thought it was like Anduin's wife or something. I don't know. Don't judge me. We already know I know nothing. I am not here for the lore. I wish I was. I wish I knew all the lore, but I just don't. I guess it's getting a little dark in here. I could turn on my light. Verisa. See, that's a name I've never heard of. Verisa. Okay, I'm turning the light off. That's awful. Verisa Windrunner. I swear if I'm looking up something weird. Verisa Windrunner. Okay, let's see this person. Have I ever seen this person? No, but she looks cool. I mean, she literally she looks like their sibling. So, wait. I was about to say something that was really dumb, and I'm glad I stopped myself. But dude, she looks cool. I mean, like the triple bow action. When was she like in the story? Like, when's the last time we've seen her like play a semi-major role? Like, she didn't have to have like Sylvanas levels of recognition, but like, was she a part of the story in some expansion recently? All right, this is ridiculous. I feel like people are like starting these groups and then logging off. Okay, we're in a plus 13, sure. Okay, Griffin comes in hot and says, only lore that matters is Xal'atath's feet. Explain to me the lore. It's literally just that she has feet. How is that lore? What are we doing? Verisa leads the Silver Covenant? I feel like we're just making up things. What is the Silver Covenant? Covenant. The Silver Covenant is a faction. Okay, it looks like it's in... Is that the old Dalaran? Dalaran? Okay, they have Oh, Kieran, didn't we just watch them? I don't know. They've united under the banner of Verisa Windrunner and joined the Alliance Vanguard to oppose the Lich King. Okay, but now that like the Lich King's like gone, what do they do? What's their purpose? Like, I don't know. There's so many NPCs in this game that they kind of just like shove them to the side, you know? Okay, top comment says, I would like to see a quest where Verisa and Sylvanas get to catch up. They are sisters after all. It has 114 likes. 270 likes is a response to that. Yeah, that'd be something worth reading. So how have you been, sister? I'm married to one of the 6 of Dalaran. What's new with you? I got turned into a banshee. Cool, cool. Wait, what? Okay. Interesting. Dude, these are new people to me. Thank you guys for the WoW history lesson. Today I learned this guy. Well, not every NPC can follow me around pulling weeds in people's gardens or collecting 6 wolf tails. True. That is true. Although it's very important work. It is very important what you're doing for this world's arc. Don't you forget that. I think it was in Mysaris Caverns? I don't know. The Lich King is not gone? Okay, wait, hold on. Do you have an updated Mistweaver guide? No. I'm waiting until everything's finalized for midnight. I have it, like, literally, I have it recorded and I've edited it, but they've already changed things since I recorded it, so I'm gonna have to go back and basically remake it and stuff. But no, I don't have like an up-to-date guide. I did before. I kind of went through and made like a quick little rundown of everything that you do. It's kind of like if you were to make a guide like 3 minutes. I think it was that. I might clip that and post it as like a short or something, and just call it like a quick touch-up on Mistweaver or something. Goodness, dude, the allergies are going crazy. Okay, but the Lich King's not gone. But did they break the helmet? Right? Oh wait, but now it's coming back to me. I don't know what makes the Lich King the Lich King. I thought it was the helmet. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. But am I stupid? I think they have now been recruited to battle the Void and Silvermoon. Okay. Okay, so she might come back into the story a bit. I was a general in my own garrison. Oh god. Yeah. Of course, Thexa. But so who is the Lich King, if you don't mind me asking? Please enlighten me. Because I've been living under this little bubble thinking we did it. We did it, Joe. The Lich King's gone. I thought, but I know that the Lich King has the big sword, right? This is so embarrassing. Is that what helps them command the armies? I thought it was the helmet gave them the power to like command the armies and stuff. But I know Bovar. Okay, so he still has the title of the Lich King. Bovar, he's a nice man this time. Yeah, he's the guy that was like hanging out in not Orgrimmar. Oh my goodness, what was that town? The Shadowlands place. He would just hang out there and like guide you through the Shadowlands and stuff. Yeah, he's chill. He also has like a big axe, right? So is the Lich King just like a title? But like, does he? Surely he can't still like command. You know, Oribos. Thank you. I literally, who is this guy? I have no idea what I'm saying. I don't think I did. Axe, A-X-E. No, I meant hammer. But I said axe probably. But no, I did not say that. Yeah, he has like that really cool big hammer, and he also kind of looks like Darth Maul too. So he's a cool character. I know he's no Arthas, but he is very cool. All right, it's go time. Just need people to dodge. Sweet. Oh boy, I shouldn't have said something. This is why I would have liked waiting for a 15, even though we literally waited for like an hour to get to a 15. I would have liked for there to be a 15 posted that we could do, because like, as you get into this like middle tier key, you just get like people who are like first time on the beta and stuff. Like, I could do a +12 on live, surely. But yeah, you just have to heal through extra swirly damage and stuff. You get the actual pug experience when you do this, right? No one controls the Scourge after the Helm of Domination was broken. I appreciate you using their government names because I did not know. The Scourge.
Another bag of coin.
The Scourge and the Helm of Domination. Gotcha. And that's kind of what was corrupting. It's kind of like the ring. Here's how I understand it as someone who is just, you know, a wealth of knowledge when it comes to WoW lore. The Helm of Domination was like the ring from Lord of the Rings, where like simply wearing it, it kind of like corrupted you as a person. And potentially, this is just a guess here. Just a guess. I'm gonna stand for this, guys. This is just a guess. But I think the Helm of Domination is like originally probably what made Arthas a bad guy, like an actual bad person. Like it actually corrupted him. And maybe the same with Sylvanas, potentially? Like that power corrupts them, maybe? Potentially? Does that sound right? I mean, I know whether... This is a quiz for you guys. I know whether or not it's right. The question is, do you guys know? Yeah, great question, Brother Bread. These are the questions, the hard-hitting questions. What is a Warcraft, and why are we in its world? Exactly. Oh, Sylvanas never put on the helm. She broke it. Oh, okay. You're talking to the guy that writ the book. Oh, writ? That writ the book? Come on, Chris. It's English. What are we doing? You're talking to the guy that wrote the book, he said. Perfectly. The first time. Of course he knew that. Get back here. I just said writ the book. Ner'zhul corrupted Arthas. See, that was a test and you passed. I knew that, obviously. Do you know? Debatable. Probably not convincing anyone at this point. It's kind of fun, like, coming into a game that's so established as WoW. And just, you know, coming in so late as I did. There's something about it. It's just, like, fun. Although, like, I do wish that I could take the time and just, like, learn all of the, like, all of the lore from whatever. There's just so much. There's, like, literally 1,000 NPCs that have some importance to the story. Like, I was doing something randomly in the world. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was doing like a gold farm. And it was over in like some BFA zone. And apparently there's this whole like werewolf alliance or something. Like, I don't know, man. And that's just BFA. That happened like what, a few years ago? Okay, Mr. Tank, I need you to live, buddy. Dude, this thing's doing big damage though. So is that feral druid. Me, I'm just spinning. I'm spinning and reading chat. Gosh, you don't know every bit of lore from this 20 word? Yeah, I know, right? Shaking my head. Unsubscribing. Crazy. Established? Didn't they say psych to the lore of an entire expansion? Didn't they? Like, is that what they did with Shadowlands? Or is that what you're referring to? Xalatath used to be a knife, just for your information. That was my follow-up question, Snipers. I appreciate you clarifying, because I was literally about to ask, hey, what does Xalatath used to be before she was just a floating foot? But I'm glad that I now know, because that was literally going to be my next question. But thank you so much for including that. I needed that bit of information. That kind of helps me a lot with. That kind of catches me up from like TBC onward for the most part. Oh boy, this is hurting me a lot. We got the ritual. Oh, it's because I have aggro. What an idiot. Apparently I pulled something while up there. Ritual fire. I feel like this is the guy that you normally skip. That's the vibe I'm getting. Okay, whoa. So Xalatath was a person, and then she became a knife, and now she's a person. Oh, okay, the pet of the DK pulled, they're saying. I just ripped aggro. So Xalatath was a person and then became a knife. An inanimate object. And then person. Noted. Noted. I did need to know that, though. That was... I woke up this morning, I was even going to ask. I was like, I need to make sure and ask my stream. Give me the backstory. Or, like, what character was it that used to be a knife? That was, like, the first thing I thought when I woke up this morning. So I'm glad that you guys remembered, you know, from my memory from this morning. Okay, so you guys were asking me some questions about Mistweaver. I should at least stop memeing a little bit and tell you one thing. There's a reason why I'm spinning here. One, it's because there's a lot of targets to hit, so it's doing good healing. But, you know, I talked about how spinning Crank Kick heals through Way of the Crane. And our single target, like Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, heal through... they heal through Ancient Teachings. Ancient Teachings specifically says that it will only split the healing among injured allies. So, like in moments like now, I have a heal absorb. Granted, I'm below 100% health. But in pools that have heal absorbs applied to your party, if that ally is at 100% health and they have the heal absorb on them, dude, you are standing in double swirly, okay. If they have 100% health and a heal absorb, Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Rising Sun Kick, and Crackling Jade Lightning will not attempt to heal that health bar. It will split among the other people that are injured, because it'll see that they are at 100% health. Even though they do need healing, they have a heal absorb on them, it will see them at 100% health. Whereas Way of the Crane will not. It will always attempt to heal 3 people, if there are 3 people nearby. It's like, you can heal 100% health allies that have a heal absorb on them with Spinning Crane Kick, but you can't heal 100% health allies with Ancient Teachings. If your whole party is 100% health, exactly, like no one has taken a single bit of damage, say maybe like you somehow have like a giant shield on everyone, no one's taken damage, right? And you get a giant heal absorb, and you punch and kick, so you like Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, those will not do any healing. If there are no injured allies nearby, it will do 0 healing. Like it won't even attempt to heal someone. It'll just check, are there injured allies nearby? No? Okay, I'll see you next time. That's why like on a lot of these heal absorb packs, I try to spin if I can, just because it is just more reliable. If that person gets topped up from one of your kicks, the next one will still attempt to heal them, potentially. I'm going to try to hold on with pots as much as possible. Yeah, even though this is less than a 15, I feel like we're already having more troubles. Exhibit A. We're having more troubles with this group than we were in the 15, just because this group is... I walked into the thing and I'm dead. I shouldn't have spoken because the moment I spoke, I cursed myself to do the same, literally same exact thing as that guy. Oh man. That's good. That's comedy right there. Yeah, I mean, so far, the amount of mechanics that we have just been hit by that you normally aren't hit by are through the roof compared to what they were before. But that's how it always goes. The moment I say something, I just literally do the same exact thing. What an idiot. You know what I blame? I blame the knowledge of Xalatath being a knife before she was a person, after she was a person. Because if I didn't know that, I'd have more space in my brain to devote to these mechanics. But since I do know that now, it took up the space where otherwise I would have focused on that mechanic. So, also we're focusing the kill the hunter very quickly. There's just gonna be the bird left. Uh-oh. That's a no-no. might be able to kill it before it charges. Plus, it's just gonna kill one person with a charge. Okay, we're good. Whew. Why is my spinning crank icon like that? It's a macro. There's no purpose. But the reason why I use a macro for spinning crank kick is, one, I like it to... Let's see. It's just because you have to have this exclamation point before spinning... Oh gosh, I just messed up my own macro. No, took out the... Goodness. But you want to have an exclamation point before spinning crank kick, so you do /cast exclamation point spinning crank kick, and what that does is it effectively removes the delay between spinning crank kicks. So I can sit here and spam spinning crank kicks with no delay between. Whereas if I use just the base spellbook spinning crank kick, for some reason there's a delay there. So I'll spinning crank kick, pause to like literally T-pose for a second, spinning crank kick, spinning crank kick. Whereas now I get to spin. You know, it's constant. So if you're playing Monk, this goes for probably every Monk spec. I feel like you would want this. You probably would want this, yeah, on every Monk spec. It's just better than having the spellbook spinning crank kick going. Stun. But I could go through the, when I made the macro, I could go through and find the actual spinning crank kick icon, just use that. But, I don't know, it's the beta. I was just slapping together my UI, slapping together all my macros, and just kind of used this one, so. It's what we're rocking with. Wave the crane, baby! Yes, sir! Catch up gets it. Spin away. Do your thing. Yeah, honestly, if you missed it, we were basically sitting in queue forever. So there's just so few groups going, and I don't know. So I finally just said, screw it, I will get into whatever key we get into. And we got into a 13, so I think we two-chested the 15. So we're literally just doing this for reps and for gameplay, but both of those, I find value in both of those. Ask my stream outfits. Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm a noob. What add-on do you use for your group frames? I use Danders. D-A-N-D-E-R-S. Danders frames. And I like it. I like it a lot. It is... I definitely liked Cell more, obviously, just because you could do more with Cell. But I like Danders. I think it's good. It does everything that I at least want it to do. I feel like the stuff that it's missing was just like extras. And it's only missing things because it literally can't do them. Like, Blizzard will not let add-ons do things. But other than that, I think these are the best healer frames going into midnight, if you were to ask me. I know a lot of people are going back to using grid. It's just having come from grid to... this guy flew over a spirit. But having come from Grid 2 into Cell, I can't go back to Grid 2. I just can't. Oh man, no mobility. I'm sorry, man. I can't really break you out. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that these guys are soaking the roots, so I don't have to deal with them. Alright, we are coming up on a boss that requires a lot of coordination. This is the coordination boss of the tier. So part of me's kind of worried. Oh. to drink it. You could also, I could put pound show tooltip spinning crane kick in the first line and choose the question mark icon. I definitely could. I think the reason why it's not there is because I was just like, I was slapping it together so quick I didn't even want to take the time to type out show tooltip. But yeah, it could easily just be that. The thing is, I never look down here, especially for spinning crane kick. So I figured like it really doesn't matter. I think there's another icon like this one, the Chi-Ji icon. I just scrolled a little bit and found the first one that kind of looks like Chi-Ji and went with it, which that is the way of the crane icon for... Actually, that's the Chi-Ji Mastery proc icon. Hey, I'm tiny. Now I'm big. But yeah, my summon Chi-Ji icon is the same. We're gonna, speaking of Chi-Ji, we're gonna summon her. Go bird. I feel like this group doesn't have as good of cryo damage. We do have a frost mage instead of an arcane. And the ground is muddying up quick. Trying to watch these reanimations, trying to CC them if able, if necessary. Alright, tough boss time. Well, one pack and then tough boss time.
She's rending the souls.
She's rending the
them,
souls.
feeding them to that monster. There are souls still that we can save. You confront her, I gonna release all the souls I can find.
These tornadoes are so annoying. Shadow revival. Leave some people there. Hey, you know, I stood up for this key. It got really hot. I'm wearing this like sweater that's for like, it's a really warm sweater. And then you just add in the standing. Whew. And healing. Whew. This is a workout. Literally standing up is a workout. That's how stressful WoW is.
What's these? New souls for my experiments?
Whoa. We're going into boss. I think we did this last time too. Yeah, fine. Dude, it's smoldering out today. That's the only word that I can think of that explains properly how hot it is outside, Brother Bear. Smoldering heat. Like you go out there and your skin literally boils. It's crazy. Have you been out today, Brother Bear? Also, St. Chris, what's good, man? Nice to see you. Hey, mate, could you also... Oh, yeah, you're the one that typed that. I'm so sorry. Thought I was reading another chat. Alright, come on, team. I did waste Chi-Ji. I figured I went to go press conduit and then found out that we don't have conduit. So I was looking at this icon. That's my Shailene icon. Oops.
You're gonna be tormented from beyond the grave.
Okay, now we have conduit. Oh, I just facing that. I'm worried about these two because they can't figure out how to run into each other. Totally forgot about the frontal, but we're fine. Those Shailene conduits had plenty. Plenty of survivability going. I think we're actually safe here. frontal. Whoop. Got you, DK. Come on, you guys got this. I believe.
I gonna poison your soul.
They are really struggling to get these ghosts to walk into each other.
You gonna be tormented from beyond the grave. Andakatas no shada. Kezulo namlakan. Never
There we go.
nothing. Raktu will still rise. She's
I'm
dead.
sure it is. I promise. Brother Bear, it's so freaking hot. Look, I look outside, the sun is out. That's how you know. Does Dander show other players' defensives? It shows them while they're active. So, like, you'll see, like, the DK just press Soul Brand, so you can see Soul Brand's active for 13 seconds. So, it does show you that. It can't show you, like, the cooldowns of those cooldowns, you know what I mean? Like, it can't show you, like, yeah, the shields pop, so that's, like, all the damage items out there. Just need to heal through that. But, like, I can't see, like, how much time until my druid has, like, Iron Bark or Bark Skin, whatever it's called, back. You can't see that. That's, like, not available information to us anymore. But you can see, like, when they pop their cooldown. So it is nice, like, if I see my Shaman pops the defensive, I know, like, I should probably heal the other person that gets the dot, you know, that kind of thing. So you still do have that information. That's still very valuable. Oof, can't stay in there, buddy. Can't stay in there. You see, he's right here. You see these little bouncing balls, for lack of a better term? You basically, like, you kind of hug this wall or hug the other wall to dodge those. So you don't really have to deal with them. And then whenever you move around this little fire thing, torch, I guess, you wait until the bouncy ball is on the other side of it. Yeah, Danders is pretty good. Like I said, like, a lot of the stuff that you can't do with Danders is simply just because Blizzard has said, like, they don't want add-ons doing that kind of thing. Like private auras and stuff. But for what you are able to do, I feel like Danders does it, you know? What does Mistweaver use as a defensive external cooldown? Our only two, like, options are Life Cocoon is our only, quote, external. It feels really good to put Life Cocoon on a DPS, but when your tank needs an external, there are some pulls where you press Life Cocoon on the tank and it literally evaporates in a second. So there it feels really bad, like putting it on the tank and stuff. But Life Cocoon's like our best option. You also can have like an AoE shield. I mean, you can do that like multiple ways now, but our biggest way is you get fully sized Chi Cocoons whenever you press Chi. Like, if I were to cast Chi right now, everyone would get a... Ooh, can't dodge that. Everyone would get a big shield on them. So, like, I can do that here, even though it's probably stupid to press here. I'm going to press Chi, and everyone in range, you see, they get a shield that's about half their health bar. Yeah, Mistweavers have shields. It's kind of it. We don't really give external mitigation in the traditional form of the word. We give effective mitigation, which is shields. The reason why I say effective mitigation is because it effectively can have an impact on a health bar like mitigation would, where, you know, if you are about to take 80% of your health but you get mitigation, that's 50% damage mitigation, then you're only taking 40% of your health. Whereas if you get a shield that is 40% of your health, that effectively mitigated half the damage too. You know what I mean? It's not mitigation. It's I say it's effective mitigation. So you probably have a different definition, but that's how I kind of think of it. And it's like a one-time use thing, so that's why shields are significantly worse. I mean, it does kind of depend on what they scale on, too. Like, it would be nice if I Life Cocoon my tank and it doubled his health or tripled his health. That would be very nice, but then that would look stupid on meters. Then in Raid, you would have Mistweavers that only Life Cocoon tanks and stuff because they just want to parse, you know? So it's, I don't know. They just need to give a mitigation component to it to make it an actual external, right? What do I have here? I have conduit. I don't see where they're dropping. Oh, mage. Can't stand there. Yo, what's up, Fushi? Hey, everyone with a little cute cat emo. Oh, I can't stand there. What am I doing? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Oh, God. You see, like, I cocooned the Death Knight. Their entire health bar was a shield. It's great. Yeah, you want to try to stack up those totem drops, just so they're easier to cleave down. I have a revival here. I have Chi too, but... See, like, their Thunder Focus Heat also now applies little, Thunder Focus Heat makes your next Enveloping Mist also apply little Chi cocoons everywhere, but they're a lot smaller. I think they're, what, like 30%? Oh, I'm good. So, like, that's not nothing, right? That is another way to shield people. It's just not as reliable. I'm gonna have to stay back and cocoon this guy unless he's up ahead. No, he's back there and he died. Okay. He also has been rooted probably 50 times this dungeon, so I'd imagine that's what happened to him. We also don't have Lust for this phase, so we might have to do all this again. Hey, we got a DK back though. Yeah, we didn't have Lust for that. We also were down in DPS. Like, look, I have Strength of Blackhawks. That's like a tiny shield. It's bigger on the DK than it was on me and the Druid. Once again, it's not nothing. All these little shields do kind of add up, but not in moment. They're like... They're across a dungeon. They're not like in a moment, you know? Dude. It's so easy not to stand in those. But now that I've said something, I'm gonna stand in it. That's how it goes. Alright, we are down to DPS. It's crazy how the lower key level is always the harder one. That's such a death. Think about Chi here. No. No. Okay, we have less than a minute. I don't think we'll get this. What do I have? I have Sweep. I have Para.
I'm out of range.
Go, go, go. I could pop Chi and just run through those guys. In fact, go, go, go. Yeah, our DK is having. He's struggling, man. Can't tell if it's just because they're really slow, like DKs, or if it's just specific to this guy. Maybe he's just hitting every route. I don't know. Hey, we still timed it though. That was. I did not think we'd have that.
With the creature dead and the vile branch gone, we with the
Hey,
hard
very cool
ball
weapon.
sleep in a little
Crit verse,
safer.
not bad.
For now,
How does it look?
we will
Oh,
always
that
be
actually
looking over
looks
our shoulders at the
kind of
vile
lame. Is that a
branch.
Windwalker?
Come back with me.
What?
The chief be
An
having
intellect
a word for
fist
you.
weapon? Am I wrong? I feel like I don't see those often. Alright, I can't go to Stormwind. By the way, have you seen there is no way to track other players' interrupts? I may not figured as much. As a healer, I'm just like, just YOLO it. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. If I devote any of my brain power to what interrupts are, I'll just be sad, you know? Now, not no. Now, not no. There is now a way. Oh, I see. Oh, then I probably should care about that. There is now a way to track other players' interrupts. Very interesting. Well, if there's a way to track other people's interrupts, I wonder if they open that door for other things, right? Glad to be of assistance with the WoW cutlery people knowledge. Thank you so much. We needed that for sure. We definitely needed that. Isn't int fist weapon just devour? Oh, maybe. They might open it up to us too, because Windwalkers have fist weapons. I just looted a fist weapon. Was it soulbound though? Or Warbank? I can equip it. Okay, but my item level just went down like pretty heavily. I can equip it. That's pretty freaking cool. Not gonna lie. That's new, right? You couldn't do... I should know that. You would think I know this as someone who mains Mistweaver Monk, but we couldn't do fist main hands. Oh, but it says one hand. No, that's right? It's not main hand. We call it main hand, but it says one hand. Yeah, whoa, that's new. How have I not noticed this? Hello? So Mistweavers can use fist weapons now, I guess. Interesting. Oh, wait for dual wield Oh, dude. If they ever split Fistweaver and like Mistweaver, like if they ever split Mistweaver into 2 specs, which I think they should at some point, personally, I believe, you don't have to agree, but I believe they should. They better make Fistweaver, what that would become, a dual wield, or like, I don't know, a staff or something. I don't know. But they should make it a dual wield spec. And that would be freaking awesome, for sure. And they should give whatever the other half of it would become, like, I'm just calling it Fistweaver, Mistweaver, but Mistweaver, whatever that would become, should get a special legendary staff that is just a jade serpent statue that you just, like, hold. I don't know why. Can't explain why. That'd be freaking lit. That's all I know. I commented that a few days ago. I do expect it. I made a video a long time ago, Fluffs Monk. I've been making videos for the Fister and the Mister. Okay, someone ban Griffin. Get Griffin out of here. No, I'm just kidding. But I made a video a long time ago kind of talking about, like, should they do this? I think it'd be pretty cool. Here's how it would look. Yeah, that's Elbian lore. So if you've seen that video, I doubt any of you guys have, because that was like many years ago, like probably 4 years ago I made that video. But it was like just talking about how they should split Mistweaver into 2 specs. I'd probably delete all my other characters if Monk had a standalone range. The problem is, though, the reason why they wouldn't do that, Quickbeard, is because, one, the Mistweaver player base is already so small that devoting development time to that is, what would they gain from it? You know what I mean? Or they could devote time to make a Demon Hunter range spec that everyone's going to want to play, right? But if they did what that is, it would kind of just, one, it would, for some reason, piss off a lot of Monk players. I don't get it, but I think it would be very cool. As someone who does play Mistweaver and who does enjoy just casually playing the, like, Caster Lightning build, I feel like it could be really cool to develop. It would be at least a fun little side project for, like, us normal people to do, right? Where we just kind of develop what would that look like, you know? So if you took, for example, if you took all the caster stuff, so like the lightning talents and like all the only like the soothing mist talents and stuff out of, bruh. If you took all the stuff that's specifically for that, like only like why would anyone other than a caster take it? Like Jade Empowerment, right? Just removed it from the tree. Then you could fill in the missing spots with cooler stuff. Like you could add in like your like a talent here that says like, yeah, you could make your Rising Sun kick do more damage, or your Blackout kick could cleave and hit 5 target. You know what I mean? Like you could develop Fistweaver, what it would become, Fistweaver, even further, right? And then on the other hand is that you could take all these little spatterings, like all these little tiny pieces that make this tiny little 10-piece puzzle of a caster build, make it its own spec, and say like, let's bring back, what was the talent where like whenever you vivified someone, you left like a corrosive dosage, right? Corrosive dosage. If you vivify someone, you leave a puddle of acid beneath them. They'd obviously scale it down a bunch because it was broken and Torghast, but bring that back as a talent and add that in as a option for that build. You know, like, so then you're healing, but you're also cleaving some AoE damage, like some passive AoE damage and stuff. take lightning and just develop it further. Like they could do that. There's a world where that could happen. I think both the traditional Mistweaver players and the people that are passionate about just wanting to make this caster build work just because it's fun. It really is fun. I feel like both camps would be happy. Personally, I think no one could walk away. If you're a Fistweaver and you're like, I want to be Fistweaver, but I just want to hold this talent captive and I want it to be on my tree and I want there to only be one spec. Sure, shout at the wall. I don't know what to tell you, but I feel like literally there's no harm in doing that. Just fully developing both worlds. I mean, it would be weird if they actually did code a monk spec to be ranged, but then again, it's kind of weird that they coded a demon hunter to be ranged, right? Because as of now, all three monks are like hard coded as melee specs. Okay, are there any keys going? Like actually any keys going? Star 15. There's just like no way. There's like a short window. Yeah, and they could even sure bring back Essence Font. I mean, Essence Font was a mess to balance because it was either really broken or just there, and like a button you had to press to get your Ancient Teachings buff, right? But yeah, they could bring back more HOTS and like develop more HOTS for what they would pull out and make a different spec, And then they could like really do some cool things with the fist weaving thing. They could make this they could make the Fist Weaver a support spec. Hell, they could even make the caster a support, not like a full-on healer, and that could be really cool. So like you're just like a shield spec that like wraps people with like enveloping mist that are shields and stuff. Like every time you envelop a mist, it also applies a shield or something. What else could they do? Like replace Vivify with a spell called Vitalize, and then you're just like giving them like the Zen to punch harder, and then they hit hard, like stupid stuff like that, right? I feel like it could be cool. But I do think either they should delete augmentation from the game, get it out of here, because support was a mistake, or they should full send and make more support specs. I feel like having one support spec in the game is just weird. Surely I'm not the only one that thinks that, right? You have like 7 healers. You have, I don't know, like freaking 5 tanks. The rest of them are DPS, and then there's just a support spec. But we kind of regret that we made a support spec, so we're just gonna keep calling it a DPS, but it's also still support. So don't forget that. But it's just a DPS. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. So I say, would this game not be cooler and better if they made another support and it was a monk? That'd be cool. There's no keys going, guys. They should make Og a tank. That would be cool. A lot of people were thinking when they first announced that there's going to be a new Evoker spec, they're like, it's the like, what's it called? The Black Dragonflight, and it's going to be a tank spec. Like, we know this. It's going to be a tank spec. And then they leaned like really heavily into like the bronze spells, and it was just a buffer, which I think augmentation's cool. I think having a support spec, like that little fantasy of gameplay I've loved it. Like, I don't know if any of you guys saw this game, but there's plenty of games like it. Okay, let me find the game I'm thinking of. If I know it. There's this game that I used to play on the GameCube back when I was like a kid. It was so much fun. It's a Lord of the Rings game. But basically, you don't follow like Frodo and all of them. You don't follow the main party. You follow this other party that kind of was coming in after them. So like, Frodo, all of them go ahead, and you're kind of like cleaning up their mess a little bit. And it was really cool. And it was like a turn-based strategy game. So this is what the fights look like, is like you're these characters, and like you take your turns. You can just do a base attack. You can do your like spells and stuff, and like each of your characters takes a turn. Like you can see the turn order here. It's one of those. There's plenty of turn-based strategy games. But this character here, I think, this guy with the sword and shield, he was really unique because, like, yeah, you could hit people with your sword, you could, like, shield attacks and stuff, but he also cast a lot of spells that were, like, buffs to your party. And he was, like, I don't know why, but it was just, maybe it was the animations or something, but as a kid, that just scratched such an itch in my brain that I love the class fantasy of just being someone that like buffs your allies. Like that's cool to me. So I was really hoping that like the game was awesome. The game was so underrated because it wasn't like a main storyline Lord of the Rings game, so it just didn't get hyped up that much. But oh my goodness, that game is so much fun. But it kind of did surprise me when I started playing this game, and there was like no spec like that. Now there is augmentation, but we see just how weird it is having a single, like if you have just a single support in the game, that support will either be broken or nerfed into the ground, and that's kind of just the way it is. But the way to actually truly balance augmentation, I believe, one is either remove it from the game or create more supports, give it competition. If there was only one healer in this game, that healer would be crazy good. Because then like a group without a healer would just probably die and couldn't push as high, but then a group with a healer could push higher. You know what I mean? Groups without a tank. Imagine a group without a tank. So uniqueness is power in a game like this. Like being the only support spec in a game is strong, right? So a few Miss Weaver questions. What should Thunder Folksy be spent on? 2, why do people take roll over torpedo? And do we need to spread renewing mists now like older expansions? So I'll work up. So the easier ones are at the bottom. Do we need to spread renewing mists now like older expansions? I rarely spread renewing mists mid-combat because you'll always have, and this is just Mythic Plus speaking, you'll always have some amount of renewing mists out because of rapid diffusion. You just get free ones for doing your other spells right. So you'll always have some amount, and that's usually enough, right? You aren't really playing, like you're playing a Big Ready Mist, but since you're playing Shayloons, you don't need the Renewing Mist to do more Shayloon healing like you do if you're playing Vivify. So really you're just doing it for the hot itself. But, since I'm playing Mistline, I at least want to be Rising Sun kicking or Enveloping Misting like mid-combat to like get at least one hot out, so I'm always benefiting from Mistline. Otherwise, you usually just press your Renewing Mist, but like as you're running up to a pack, like during the downtime, or if you're forced out of melee, you can use that time to at least slam one out. Ideally, you want all of them out, like slam all 3 at the same time, but at least have one out so you're gaining this benefit. Number 2, why do people take roll over torpedo? Personally, I think torpedo travels too far for too long. In Mythic Plus, like in these types of environments like Mythic Plus, the movement required is balanced around every spec. So if you have to stack in for this one mechanic and then immediately run out for the next mechanic, and like there's a giant circle that you need to run out of, that mechanic will be balanced in such a way that priests can also move out in time. So you don't need the distance of Chi Torpedo, so it's better to not be locked into this movement or to this animation for longer, but instead to be like a quick burstier, shorter movement, especially when you can have it more often if you take Celerity. Like, yes, you also get movement speed with Torpedo, but I feel like every time I swap to Torpedo, like I used to do it in some random builds, it's fun until you Torpedo and a swirly spawns at the end and you're just like, I'm gonna run into that, and you're just like locked in, you know what I mean? And yeah, sure, that happens with roll too, but it's a lot less frequently, So that's personally why I don't run Torpedo. I feel like it just messes me up more. I know there are some players who have always run Torpedo. Like I'll randomly see like random parses with Torpedo, then I'll click on that guy's name and he's like, they always run Torpedo. And maybe they're a PvP player because you do want that movement speed in PvP. Here it's just not as required, And then what should Thunder Folksy be spent on? The 2 spells that I spent it on a lot, and I've moved more closely to 50-50 than I used to. I used to only use it on Rising Sun Kick because it was good damage, and we wanted more Renewing Mist out with Rising Sun Kick, and we were playing Rising Mist. But with the build that I'm running Tear of Morning, not Rising Mist, so Rising Sun Kick doesn't really extend my hots like it used to. And that burst heal of Enveloping Mist, especially when you think about how rank 3 of Spirit Font works, it's just like this creates like a burst heal moment where you're shielding everyone, you're creating Spirit Font on everyone that needs it, and you're also slamming one person specifically with a strong hot instantly and that heal boost. I've found myself Enveloping Misting a lot more, but like I said, in moments where I don't really need to use it on Enveloping Mist, I'll use it on Rising Sun Kick. But if there's a moment where I might want to use it on Enveloping Mist coming up, I'll hold it for that moment, or I'll just send it, you know. But it's basically just those those two spells. Yeah, good question, Snipers. Good question. It used to be like I used to always say like always Rising Sun Kick, and I started the beta saying always Rising Sun Kick, rarely Enveloping Mist. But the more that I've played, it's the more I find myself using Enveloping Mist. Now there is some stock in like what secret infusion buff you want. Like there are some moments where you would like the verse buff from secret infusion. So like if I know like coming into a boss fight, like for example, the tree boss in Algathar, I know I can heal every other moment. Like I can heal this moment with Conduit, this next one with Chi-Ji, this next one with Conduit. You know, like the healing cycle lines up to where I don't really ever need my Thunder Focus Teas for that little burst of healing. So I'll just, for that fight, I'll just Rising Sun Kick it to get the verse buff to make it that much easier, you know? But rarely I think about that. Like also, ideally, like in the first pull of Algathar, since you just spin, I just want to do as much damage. And I'm pretty sure the verse buff converts to more damage. And it just makes you tankier when the dragonflies jump at you, so. But yeah, for the most part, Enveloping Mist, Rising Sun Kick are the two big ones. I mean, that was Shaman till Kata. Way lower healing than other healers, but insane support options. See, that sounds fun. Maybe that's why I resonate with Shaman a lot. Is just because they do that. They kind of like operate outside of the box of healer a little bit. I mean, they don't nowadays that much anymore, but maybe that's why I gravitated towards them, because in War Within, it felt so powerful being a shaman. Putting down Cap Totem, it would stun all enemies twice, and then you would recall that totem, stun them 2 more times. You alone, you were diminishing returns worst enemy, you know? So like you felt like you just had so much control as a shaman. I don't know. That's just me personally, but that would be cool. I also feel like Disc Priest could have gone down like a more supporty route. Also Holy Paladin, especially with Lightsmith Holy Paladin. I feel like if they were to convert a healer to a support spec, the like obvious choices would be to take the like Lightsmith Holy Paladin fantasy and kind of dive into that, like gifting weapons, forging weapons, and like that kind of thing, you know. There also could be like a warrior that shouts and stuff and buffs your party. Oh man, we have gone out the other end of the window where there are a lot of groups going. We'll give it a bit longer though to see if more people queue up. That game was awesome. Give me a bard, that would be sick. Didn't they come out with something recently where it was like they came out with some quiz, or not a quiz, but like a little. They sent people an email. Blizzard did, I think, or somehow they got this poll. It was a poll to people, and they were like, "Hey, tell us what you think of these potential class ideas." And wasn't bard one of them? They were contemplating like a bard, some kind of like hunter healer, or some kind of like trinketeer or something, like not trinketeer. What was the word for it? Like artificer, I think, was one that they were contemplating. But they had this. I remember watching a video on it. And they were like, Blizzard themselves sent this to people. Like, what do you guys think? Like, they were workshopping ideas and they wanted some feedback. I have no idea where I saw that video, and it was like, I don't even know how long ago it was. Maybe a year? Tinkerer, that's what it was. Not Trinketeer. What am I saying? Nanwar Gaming says, what healer specs would you recommend maining? I mean, I don't want you to, like, asking someone and then them giving you their input. There might be some value in that, but I want you to ask yourself, like, what catches your eye the most? What could you play for an entire tier and not get tired of? Like, what class fantasy or what gameplay loop that you see others doing while playing this spec draws you in more? So, like, for me, Mistweaver Monk, I could play this hours and hours and hours and never get tired of it, right? But for others, they get tired of it pretty quickly, right? Same with Druid, same with Shaman. So ask yourself, like, what... If this play loop gets stale, what spec is so exciting and cool enough to me that, like, I would still enjoy it even if, like, I got tired of the rotation? And that's kind of what carries you through the second half of a season, you know what I mean? So if you don't have an answer to that, look, I'll just pull rabbit out of a hat or something out of a bag. I don't know. Just randomly Mistweaver Monk. Whoa, that's weird. Randomly said Mistweaver Monk? That's crazy. No, I'm kidding. I think Restadrew is a good choice. I started with Restadrew and I really liked it when I played it. It's like a fun entryway to healing because you heal differently than everyone. So you kind of have to learn more of the mechanics of what healing is, where it's like where you're prepping for damage coming in. Man, I am just like in the darkness right now. This is crazy. Let me turn my overhead light on. There we go. Hey, I'm revived. Might be a little too bright. That's okay. I think Rest of Druid's like a fun one. It also has like a really like fantasy driven like gameplay, so it's pretty fun. I don't think I would recommend like Disc Priest for a tier for a newer healer, because I think Disc Priest, that gameplay loop gets really stale really quickly. But I mean, you can make the argument for any healer, to be honest, if you really wanted to. But I would say Resto Druid or Resto Shaman. Both of them are solid. One stronger than the other, but both are fun enough, personally. Okay, Griffin. Griffin says Resto Druid is also really good if you're a fan of the furry community. I mean, sure. Sure. Just almost knocked something off. I mean, they do those polls frequently, but we rarely get anything out of it. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, every time I've seen something about a poll like that, nothing's come from it. Like, they never have added one of those specs into the game, from what I know. That's a good point. You don't really see that happening too often. Oh, I have to remember tonight. I need to refresh my Prime sub. I have one of my friends who is streaming more frequently now than they normally do, and I need to make sure and give it to them, because I'm literally just sitting on Jeff Bezos ripping money from my bank account. I don't like it. Oh. I mean, do we queue up for either of these? I don't think so. I don't think so. So as a Volpera, I gotta ask you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're a Volpera Druid, what does that really say about you? Was trying to do beta the other day just to make a 90 character, right? Yes, there's like different realms. I think you have to like click the one that's specifically like an end game realm or something. Didn't see any keys pop up. Not sure if I'm doing it right. It could just be that the game was in like a weird hour. I know this hour is like when all the EU players log off and you're kind of just waiting on all the NA players to get home from work. So it's kind of like there's like a 2-hour period where it's much slower than it normally is. You know what I mean? There's like that weird window between. But I guess I feel like now's like a good time to kind of like wind down and stuff. I didn't start the stream as early as I wanted to, but we still started pretty early, and honestly, I got some good keys in. Got some nice little showcasing of Mistweaver Monk and the power that we hold. But I guess we call it. I know tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so me and my wife are gonna hopefully get to hang out some tonight. But we're gonna spend tomorrow. We're gonna binge some Bridgerton, so I'm excited for that. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish the whole season, or I don't even know if the whole season is out. But we're gonna at least watch like 3 or 4 episodes. Other than that, though, Valentine's Day is so that we don't really like go on a date or like do anything like that, but we kind of just like use it as just an excuse to like chisel out more time. Like we already do spend all the time together, but this is even just like it's just another excuse to kind of be like, you know, let's just hang out for a day, you know, especially because it always lands like this season is like my wife's busiest. Like she's very busy right now. So, it's like that's just how her job is like there's on season and off season, and right now we're like right in the middle of on, so it is kind of like a nice way to be like, hey, like, could I have a few hours this Saturday because it's Valentine's Day, and it's just like a time to chill. I always tell my wife, if I need one day a year to tell you I love you, yeah, for sure. I think I've heard something like that before, not that exact thing, but that's kind of how we operate too, for sure. We spend literally after I log off stream, I go down and cook, and then we watch trash TV and make fun of people on TV all night. Like that's it. Oh, one Miss Weaver question I still got left. Yes, Fluffs. Where do you stand in the Life Cocoon versus Zen Pulse scale? Currently, I play base Cocoon to play Zen Pulse, but it's hard to decide because Zen Pulse isn't tracked in HPS meter. It gets counted towards Shayloons. I haven't liked Zen Pulse for a few seasons. Like I know a lot of people like Deep Clarity. I play base. I think this is what you're asking. I'm not gonna lie, Fluffs. I'm not fully understanding what you're asking, but you're saying like, do I like to invest more points into Zen Pulse? I do like the baseline Zen Pulse, just because it like racks up over a dungeon, but I have never liked Deep Clarity. I know consistency is really important, and I fully agree with that. I just like, honestly, I'm leaning more towards like this sometimes, but I do like Zen Pulse. I don't think it's worth the 2-point investment though. But I think you're asking like, would I rather take that than something like Chrysalis? I think Chrysalis is really good in keys. Terrible English? No, it's not the English. It's just like, I don't know. I just haven't been asked this question before. You spend more points left or right. Okay. So would I rather commit more points towards Life Cocoon? In Mythic Plus, Life Cocoon. In Raid, I do take Deep Clarity. And I do take Lotus Infusion. So I do invest more here in Raid. But honestly, like there's... Like you can... I don't know. Zen Pulse is good. It is good. I'm not like such a fan where I think that Deep Clarity is necessary. I mean, to be fair, I do play more into treating my Thunder Focus Tea as a healing cooldown nowadays than I used to. So there's more of an argument for it, right? Because then you could Thunder Focus Tea Envelop Mist into a into a Shayloons, and then you're getting like a guaranteed Spirit Font proc. You're also getting a little burst heal from Thunder Focus Tea. You're getting those Chi Cocoons, and you're getting a Zen Pulse, but like a guaranteed Zen Pulse. So there's an argument for it, right? But I feel like most of the time when I go to press Shayloons, I probably have a Zen Pulse, at least for the first one, lined up, So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of... I feel like these are kind of to where it becomes preference. I really do think Chrysalis is... I couldn't imagine without Chrysalis. I think the question here would be like, do you drop Calming Coalescence for Deep Clarity? There is an argument. Like I said, there is like a nice little burst window you could do with Deep Clarity just to guarantee that you get all those things at once. But I think it's more of a knock to how disappointing Life Cocoon can be sometimes, where I just want it to be bigger, So that's just me, personally. Because the 3 points you got left, I have in Dancing Mists, Lotus Infusion, and Deep Clarity. Okay. Oh, so you don't have Chrysalis. Okay, here. Let me explain my thought process to this thing. I'm starting to stutter a bit. I hear it, but my thought process is, since we're playing these other things that shave a set amount of time off of our Life Cocoon cooldown, so we're playing... If you're playing Conduit, you might be playing Master of Harmony. I don't know that. But if you're playing Conduit, you're already shaving so much like variable time off of your Life Cocoon's cooldown, so it's no longer a 1 minute 15 second cooldown. Or pretend like it's a 2 minute cooldown, right? Pretend like Life Cocoon is at its full 2 minute cooldown. And you press Thunder Focus Tea and you gain Heart of the Jade Serpent. Then for 8 seconds, you're shaving off 75 extra seconds. So you're getting 6 seconds off of your Life Cocoon. That 6 second subtraction from the cooldown of Life Cocoon looks a lot better when the cooldown of Life Cocoon is already down to 115 instead of 2 minutes. You know what I mean? 6 seconds off of 1 minute and 15 seconds is a larger percentage of the Life Cocoon's cooldown than it is when it's 2 minutes, when it's 120 seconds. So the relative strength, the relative power that you're getting when you're running Heart of the Jade Serpent, it is more than if you weren't running Chrysalis. You know what I mean? So like, that 6 seconds is worth more when it takes up more of the cooldown. More of a percentage of the cooldown. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but 6 seconds is a larger percentage of 1 minute and 15 seconds, so 75 seconds, than it is 120 seconds. Also, yes, Conduit. Okay, so you are running Conduit. But like I said, like Deep Clarity, I also like Lotus Infusion. I feel like, oh, you're running these 3 talents. I see. I don't hate your build. I really don't. I just do think I would probably drop like maybe these 2 or maybe these 2 talents and at least like come down here and get Chrysalis. Personally, I think Chrysalis is big value when you're running Conduit, and it's so whenever you proc Heart of the Jade Serpent, that's 6 seconds off your Life Cocoon cooldown. But when you Conduit, that's 12 seconds off your Cocoon cooldown. But you use Cocoon all the time. I mean, especially in higher keys, you use it often enough. Like a lot of times you'll see me, I kind of treat it as a cooldown nowadays. Like you have 2-minute Chi-Ji, you have Revival, you have a lot of Shaylun stacks saved up, but then you can also use like Thunder Focus T plus Cocoon, or use your, like, you don't want to sit on Cocoon for a whole dungeon, because then you're just like losing out on uses of it. But obviously you don't just want to throw it out willy-nilly. Like you don't just want to use it because you have it. But when you play Conduit, part of the draw to playing Conduit is that you can use it more liberally. Like you can use it on your DPS that is about to get a dot on them. That way you don't have to commit Chi-Ji to heal through the double, like your 2 DPS that get the dot. Instead, you can Cocoon one of them to kind of shut it off in a way, and then just Soothing Mist slam Shayluns into the second one. And then that way you get to save Chi-Ji for the next moment, like the big moment of healing. You know what I mean? So like being able to be more flexible with your Cocoon, I personally find a lot of value in that, especially when you push up into higher keys, because it lets you then use your Chi-Ji and your Revival, your big buttons, in the more opportune times. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's why I think adding like this big set time shave off of Life Cocoon, it gets a lot better in a Conduit build. I think there was a time where I wasn't even running Chrysalis in Mythic Plus when I used to be running Master of Harmony, and that's just simply because it just, I don't know, it was then I just knocked something off my desk. But then you didn't need it because you kind of had like Omega healing when you played Master of Harmony last season. But so that's a different point. But yeah, I mean, that's just my take on it. I think like, I don't know. I feel like I've over-explained it. You know what I mean? And now I'm just kind of talking myself in circles. Makes sense. I was also thinking about taking the point out. You're talking about one of these maybe? Yeah, I get that. I think I try that for a few dungeons. Let's see how it feels. I mean, like on one hand, like it could be bad. It could be like bad muscle memory teaching if you're not careful. If you're just like, I have Life Cocoon, let's use it so that I can start shaving time off its cooldown. That's like not the best way to think about it. Sure, you can do that with Thunder Focus T because it's Thunder Focus T, right? But at least now it's kind of like you just have so many more uses of Life Cocoon in a dungeon than you would otherwise if you weren't taking Chrysalis, if you were playing Master of Harmony, you know? Because if it's like a 30-minute dungeon, you're getting so many more uses of Cocoon. 30 minutes and you're running 2-minute Life Cocoon, that's a max of 15 Life Cocoons in that dungeon. But if you're running 1 minute 15 minus 12 seconds every minute, so that's basically 1 minute 2 second cooldown. This is horrible math. 1 minute 2 second cooldown minus 12 every minute and a half, so that's minus 8 every minute. That's what, 56 second cooldown, and that's like bare minimum. I'm not even like doing the math right, but that's at least a 50 second, or at most a 50 second cooldown if you're on top of your Thunder Focus T and Shayluns, and then not even factoring in that you could proc it off of your Shayluns with Yu'lon's avatar. Like, I don't know. You just get a lot more Cocoons off. That is at least double the Cocoons, basically, when you play these 2 talents. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I'm probably just confused. I'm confusing myself at this point. But it is, I agree. I think it's very stupid that in order for your Cocoon to be a sizable shield, you need to put Calming Cola. Like, why can't it just be a good external? Like, literally, think of any healer. Their external is fine when you don't put talents into it. Like, as a disc priest, pain suppression is great, even when you don't have a second charge of it. But sure, you can get a second charge with your, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you don't need to make it good by taking a second talent point. I don't know. Or a third one to give it a lower cooldown, and then a fourth one to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like, you don't take Miss of Life because it's a good talent, really. You take Miss of Life because it lets you get down to Chrysalis. You know? I don't know. It's a weird one. Just make it a longer CD, but turn it into Lumithar's... Oh, now we're cooking, Cadbury. Now we are cooking. That's what I like to hear. You know what? Also, while we're at it, just make it do damage, too. The moment the shield pops, just make it just blow up any enemy. That would be crazy. And while we're at it, just turn these Chi Cocoons into Life Cocoons. Boom. That's a chef's kiss of a spec right there. But guys... I am so sorry. We got to end the stream at some point. Let's go ahead and find someone to raid, though. Let's spread the love. Let's find a streamer that has similar or smaller size and just say hello. Just stick around and be like, yo, what's up? How's the stream going? Because I feel like that's how I got my start of streaming, is I got raided by a bigger streamer. And it really does help. And it honestly, like, a lot of people's dream is to become a streamer. You know, mine was too before I started. So to be able to kind of help someone further that dream is like amazing. So let's raid Vlad. If you've been on my stream, you probably know Vlad. Me and him streamed together a couple times. So I'm gonna start a raid for him. Gonna hang out in his stream for a bit. But I am going to call the stream here. I do have to go start cooking. Have to cut some sweet potatoes tonight. All right, guys, let's get in there. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. I will see you all on Monday. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out today. Y'all were amazing today. I appreciate all the questions and the vibes. All right, let's get in there. Let's raid.